Welcome to the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast, where we discuss all things strange, paranormal, and unexplained.
These episodes are live recorded on Twitch and cut to fit Spotify's format. If you want to catch us live, we do our podcast once a month on Twitch.
Good evening, everybody. How is it going? How's it going? Hello, Mama. Hello, Baguette. Hello, Miso. Hello, Papa Kortrah. Welcome in for episode 22 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast. Yes, episode 22. Yeah, it's crazy. We've been on this journey for a year and a half now, I think. Going a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years soon. But yeah, a year and a half right now, going 2 years come October. So, you know, I'm happy where it's at right now, and we are halfway through our goal for Spotify, so that's really exciting. I still haven't done certain things that I want to get done, like make the Patreon, but I'm getting to it eventually. I just need to seriously sit down and make the time for it. And for our special guest today, we've got the amazing Papa Kortrah joining us. If you guys want to check out Papa Kortrah, he is always good vibes. I play Fortnite with him on Fridays, and he sometimes joins me for my Wednesday or Thursday night Fortnite games. And he's a really cool dude. Really freaking cool. Like, one of my favorite dudes. You guys should know this. And then, of course, we've got the beautiful Miso Thorny back. We've missed her, and we are so excited to have her. So let's go ahead and jump into the Discord and say hello to these two beautiful souls. Thank you for being here for the podcast. Look! There they are.
Hello.
Hello. Two of my favorite people on Twitch. How are you guys?
Oh, hi.
Amazing now. I can see your beautiful face.
I know. I'm so excited. Okay. So, yeah. Welcome back, Miso. We're happy to have you back. We missed you last month, but I think the girls did a pretty good job helping us last month. Thank you, Kate's Elegy, for joining us. And then thank you, Bentley,
Yes,
for
thank you so much.
being our special guest. And so I'm not sure. Was Bentley
Ooh,
you
my
were in the
camera's.
same you were in the same podcast. Like you were there for Bentley's. I think you weren't there for um Brit. I think Brit was one of the ones that you weren't there for that you managed to be able to do an episode this year with. So we had Brit be able to come back.
Yes, we had Britt come back. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it was
It was
exciting to have
awesome.
you guys. But yeah, today I'm really excited. We actually have a very interesting group of items that are not as connected as they normally are, but it's okay. It's weird because me and Misos are still kind of connected if you really think about it. But we'll figure it out. So, hello, Papa.
Thank you for joining us.
Seriously.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, I love your
And thank you,
werewolf.
Daku, for always carrying the podcast.
You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. I believe in it
You're
and
my
I love it.
champion.
Redneck, welcome in. How are you? So, are you guys excited for your topics today? I'm a little nervous about my
Yeah.
topic, and my topic is like definitely shorter than my any topic that I've ever done. But I still think it's pretty good. It's actually a 2-pager, you guys. It's not even 3 pages, it's 2 pages. No, don't get rid of them.
mean,
there we go. I gotta minimize this. Sorry. My notes are too large. I don't need them to be at 300%. What the hell? I'm not blind. I'm in denial that I need glasses, okay?
that's me. Mine are like zoomed in hella big. I'm like, man, I thought there was more pages, but I guess I just have it really zoomed in. I don't know. It's crazy.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, but I enjoyed my topic, and there's something interesting that happened in this topic, and I kind of brought it up to you during our spooky slumber party where I talked about, well, the topic that's going to be released on the 9th of August, but it's related
Which
to
was
our
also
topic.
very cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for it. So, guess what I'm covering, you guys? You probably already know, but you know, give me your wild guess.
Something fishy.
You got it. I'm
I'm
actually covering this special fish that is actually known as the Doomsday Fish, aka oarfish. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard of oarfishes, but it's a common belief that when an oarfish beaches, usually something bad's about to go down. And so they're basically seen as messenger fish. So I've been interested in this topic, and for some reason, I thought the roots of this came from Polynesian legends, but I was very mistaken and was actually kind of excited that it's actually the whole thing about oarfishes, like, and why they're special, is actually rooted in Japanese mythology. Which, yeah, I didn't. For some reason, I don't know why I thought it was Polynesian. I was thinking of. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say it's actually from Minnesota. I was like, whoa.
Crazy enough. They've never seen one in their fucking lives, but
no. So I am covering the oarfish, and so in Japanese mythology, it is known as a mythical fish, and it's known as the Ryugunu Sukai, which is translates to messenger from the sea god's palace, is what it translates to. And so you're curious, what is an oarfish and why is it important and why is it called the Doomsday Fish? Well, to learn about the legends of oarfish, I actually have to briefly discuss the sea god known as the Ryujin, and it translates to dragon god. So he is the god of dragons, but he's also the god of the ocean, and he is and he is and he is known as the dragon god. So not only is he the god, like the god of the ocean, but he's also the god of dragons on top of that. So Ryujin, which is the sea god, aka the dragon god, was known in Japanese mythology as the sea god and also the god of dragons. As I said, Ryujin has the ability to actually shapeshift into humans And many believe that he actually had a lot of knowledge when it comes to um, natural medicines. Like he had different secrets on medicines and remedies and all that stuff. And he was also seen as the bringer of rain and thunder. And in a lot of the illustrations with him, Raijin is depicted as a sea god with a very large mouth. It's a very, very, very big one. And like it's not like the Renaissance dragons, it's more like a serpentine like dragon. More like
Right.
yeah. So it's more of a sea dragon than like having a big bulky
snakish.
body. It's always presented as like a very snakish like snake. Hello, Jex. Welcome in. Glad to see you.
Hi, Jax. It's
And
been
then
a while.
hello, Redneck. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing good. And so, aside from him being the bringer of rain and thunder, he is believed to actually have a castle deep in the ocean, and his palace or castle under the ocean is made up of red and white corals. So it's a giant castle under the ocean, deep, deep, deep in the depths of the ocean, and it has white and red collars as its corals, not collars, corals as like the exterior of this castle, and it's why the oarfish is known as the Ryugu no Sukai is because of the fact that it does translate from messenger from the sea god's palace, which is his palace in the deep oceans. And inside his castle, he does control the tides and storms, and he often uses different sea creatures as messengers. So he would use sea turtles, jellyfish, sea snakes, any creatures. Is like he uses them as a way to talk to the humans. So it's his messenger fish. Very Ursula, very Ursula. I love it. And he can sense when there's a natural disaster that's about to happen, and so he is believed to send the messenger fish, aka the oarfish, to the shore, and when it's beach, it's a warning for the people to be aware that there is an oncoming either tsunami or earthquake that is coming within that time. And this is actually how the oarfish became known as the Doomsday Fish, and it's also where the myths actually root from, is because this is a belief in Japan, and with certain situations, it's a very, very, very strong. There's a lot of support
indicator.
this,
Yeah,
it's not scientific, but
I mean, but a little bit I know it's been
it's
pretty
it's a little.
spot
There's so many times before coincidence becomes not a coincidence. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's coincidences, but then I'm like, when do you stop calling them coincidences? When?
Right.
So it goes kind of hand in hand in a way. Not always, but most of the time. And not with nowadays as much, but I'll explain that later. So that's how they became known as the messenger fish. So the Ryuga no Tsukai is the messenger fish, and they were actually believed to be mythological fish by everyone until it was discovered in 1772. So oarfish were actually first believed to be a creature of mythology, and often like just a creature that people like fishermen would discuss seeing in the oceans during their journeys. And they believe that it was just a myth until a Norwegian biologist by the name of Peter Ascanius in 1772. And he actually managed to encounter a giant oarfish. And I thought there was only one, but there's like 3 different species of oarfish. And so there's different sizes for them and different appearances for them, but it depends on where they are in the ocean, I guess, would be that. And he managed to encounter a giant oarfish, so he was able to say, hey, this thing exists. So, and there's 3 species of this fish now that they've discovered. And even though it was discovered as no longer a myth in 1772, there was actually like not much interaction with the oarfish. And so even still it blah blah blah. So in until there we go. So it was kind of like one of those things that didn't really like people knew about it but didn't really have too many encounters with them that is in the scientific, or there's people that find them as the messengers for the beach, but there's never been like a group that's like seen them aside from that in the wild in their natural, because they live in the deep depths of the
I was
ocean.
gonna say, I feel like they're
So
very deep, aren't they?
yeah, so when they surface it's usually you know when they
Stressful.
when they surface they're okay, but when they beach is when it's a problem, is when they beach,
Right.
because that's when the message is this is going to happen here kind of thing. Yeah, right. So
Yeah, because you have to wonder what drove them out of there.
yes, so we didn't know much about them until 2001, and a group of US Navy personnel actually managed to catch video footage of an oarfish. So most of the time it was like either they found them beached and dead and they tried to learn them. But in 2001, they managed to get footage of an oarfish. The US Navy did. And so the giant oarfish are known as Regalecus glacini. And then there's the Russell's oarfish, which is the Regalius russelli, and I think that's a smaller one. And then they have streamer fish, which is, I think, even the smaller one. And prior to this, there were actually so many few encounters of them. And so most of the time, people just saw their dead carcasses. So seeing footage of this fish is pretty crazy, like the first time it came by. And for me, I didn't really think too much about it because like you see it in games like Animal Crossing where the oarfish is one of the fish that you can catch in the world of Animal Crossing, but also in this game that I play called Dredge. It's like this you're like a little tugboat that travels the ocean. In the Dredge there's a secret fish that you're supposed to find, and it's just known, like it gives you a hint saying bringer of doom, and it's like a, and so I thought an oarfish looked completely different until I saw like what an oarfish was, because I've seen what it was but I never really paid too much attention to it until it started showing up in my video game, and that thing, and then I started paying attention. So there yeah, so prior to that there was very few encounters with them except for the dead carcasses, and so because of it a lot of people literally thought they were just myth of sea serpent gods until they found an oarfish. And the thing with the oarfish is it's a very weird fish. It's kind of strange, like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the ocean sunfish, the giant sunfish, where
Yeah.
so it's weird in the sense like that, but even weirder. So with oarfish they actually have very long silver bodies, and I'll show you a picture of one right now in the presentation.
They're
So
long
that's a
boys.
that's a head of an oarfish in the
God,
water
damn,
with
thicker than I thought it was.
that's the head, and yeah, that's a giant
Holy crap.
oarfish. Yeah.
I knew they were like really long, but I didn't realize how like big they were. I always thought they were like,
No. So
like
they can be
like
really
foot.
small or they can be really big. I'll tell you the measurements of them.
God,
But yeah, they're
that thing is
huge. They
huge.
are big fish. And the thing about this fish
That's freaky.
is it's very strange because like the sunfish, like its meat is kind of like the sunfish but worse. So oarfish have these long silver bodies, and you see how it's and most of them, this picture doesn't have it. Most of them have a red crown and fins attached to them, kind of more like the flyer. If you look at the flyer over here where it's got the red scales and the red horns, they look kind of like that, but I could only find videos of that one besides other illustrations of it, so I don't want to show the illustrations.
And that one, that really looks like the dragon.
They big babies. They big babies.
The red.
And
He's a
so
big boy.
they're so they have that long silver body, they've got the red crown and fins, and they're extremely bony fish. And they can be anywhere between 8 feet long to, I believe the biggest they can find right now is 56 feet long. So between 8 feet to 56 feet long. And even though they
My
have
love, sorry. I only see you.
Oh shit, sorry. There we go. Sorry, you guys.
No, you're all right. I just want to
I
make
forgot
sure
to
you
switch
knew
scenes.
before you.
Yeah, no, thank you for telling
There
me.
you go.
Thank you. I don't want them looking up my nose that long. How dare you? Okay.
I'm gonna see them boogs.
No. They're secrets. They're secrets. But
Keep
yeah,
your
so they can be
secrets.
anywhere between 8 feet to 56 feet long, and you can see that one is in the big side. And even though they have this
Huge.
like silver color to them, you would think that they would have scales, but they actually don't have scales on this fish. It's weird. They don't have scales. So instead of having scales, they have like a silver guanine layer, like a gelatinous layer that's like sheer that their body is coated in. And it's described to touch like when people have touched fish because they've taken samples with the fish by like wearing special gloves and just pressing and squeezing part of the fish to get some of that gelatinous material on the gloves so that they can study
Oh,
it
they
even
stole its
more.
goo.
Yeah, and so
Oh.
when people talk about it, it's got the texture of slime, like a very watery slime almost. So a liquidy slime that needs a little bit of activation, maybe. But yeah, and yeah, so it feels slimy when you touch them. They feel very gelatinous to the touch, and
Gross. Thanks.
and
They're juicy.
and if you touch it because of the way it is, there's a possibility that you'll get a little bit of an electric shock because it's kind of in relation to eels and stuff like that. So it can give you a
They do
little
kind
bit
of
of
look
an
eely,
electric
yeah.
shock. Yeah, so they have a little bit of an electric shock. It's not enough to like knock you the fuck out, but you can feel like,
Right.
oh, okay, it's like touching like a thing that shocked you or something like that. So
Right, a little spark.
they give you a shock. So the
I
thing
say
that's
it looked really smooth and mirror-esque.
yeah, they're very weird in that way. They're very weird in that way. And aside from their bones, it's gelatinous.
Ugh,
Yeah.
like
So
a jellyfish.
another strange thing about this is they're not edible. I, of course, my very first thing doing this
Who's
research.
trying?
No, like okay,
say,
you guys, I love sushi, so my brain always looks at fish and be
can
like,
I eat it?
"Can you
Can I
be
eat
in a
that fish?
sushi?"
Can I pet that fish?
I love sushi and I love seafood. So I was a little bit curious. I'm like, are they edible? And I looked it up. Their meat is not edible. There's actually some people that were bold enough to try. Probably like me who loves fish and wants to try every fish, I guess. Um, but there are people that have been bold enough to even try and describe the meat to be extremely flavorless, and it's described as flabby and gooey, kind of like fat.
Mm.
Like when you have fat on meat and it's that
Oh,
gross chewy texture,
I
it's like that.
actually like that.
Yeah, so it's described as flabby, gooey, and then it's also gelatinous. And the texture in your mouth apparently is extremely unappealing. It is not a good mouth feel for sure. And
You're
it's
telling me I can't make a peanut butter jelly out of oarfish?
no, honey,
Well, peanut butter and
not with
oarfish
that
sandwich?
gelatinous fish stuff. No, and it's kind of similar.
It sounds
to,
more like
similar
egg
to
salad.
it's kind of similar to some ocean sunfish. The really big ocean sunfish is whenever they catch this fish, they're kind of like ugh because like you can't make it into anything. You can't really eat it. So yeah. So it's weird in the connection because a lot of the things that I remember them describing with this giant ocean sunfish and the texture of the meat for oarfish are very similar. And so part of me, I'm like, these two are very weird fish, and we don't know what their purpose is. So for me, I'm looking at sunfish a little sus. I might do some research on them and see if there's any myths including with them. But I don't think anything
I
can beat
wouldn't
the
be
doomsday
surprised because
fish.
they're very big too, I believe.
They're
If I
very
remember correctly, they're
strange. They're
freaking
very
huge.
strange fish. Um, and it is mentioned that aside from people trying to eat what they could, they're described to be extremely hard to find due to them living in the deep ocean. And they also tend to swim upright in a vertical position. So instead of like swimming like an eel where it kind of like swims like this,
Like,
they
ooh.
actually like are upright and then they move their fins and they move this way and that way. So they instead of them swimming like vertical, or instead of them swimming horizontal, they swim
They go like,
vertically. Yeah, so they like go. Yeah, it's
Like
so
a
weird.
big, slimy, shitty submarine.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
do you see how it looks in this
exactly.
picture? In this picture, you can see it, and
Yeah.
it
Ugh,
swims like that in the upright position. That's how it swims.
that's weird, man. It's eyeball. Look at that eyeball, man. It's like the size of a basketball. That's crazy. It's big as that guy's head, just its eyeball.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's not edible, baguette. I would not recommend eating this. It would not be a good texture for your mouth hole. I promise. You would hate it. You would hate it, and you would hate
let
everything,
us munch you.
and you would curse me for even taking you to try it. You would curse me. Okay,
I imagine.
so
I wonder if like a similar texture to like jellyfish.
probably, and there's some people that eat jellyfish too. So,
I can't
so
imagine that's good, bro.
so they swim in a vertical position rather than a horizontal version like an eel. And because they've been discovered, they're no longer seen as myths, but there's still a lot we actually don't know about this fish. And despite their massive size, they're considered to be extremely delicate. So anything you do to them is pretty bad. Like they aren't like touching them with your bare hands, bad idea. You know, like I feel like scientists, the reason they did the glove thing is because they're trying to not interact with the fish as much because of how delicate they are. You know, not delicate,
Right,
but they're just fragile, not fragile and like they'll break like glass, but like
right.
maybe
Well, they're
very
made out
little
of goo.
bacteria can kill them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
they're just held together by Jello. I mean, there's not much going on there.
why do you want to eat it?
What a munch.
And so something as simple as stress can actually even kill them. So they're very
They're
delicate.
the squirrels, or no, they're the
And
rabbits of the sea.
you know how delicate they are. There are people that tried to actually keep oarfish captive for study, and that oarfish died in captivity in less than a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're very delicate creatures, and yeah, so aside from them being massive and the way they look, they're very delicate creatures. There's also another weird thing about them. So they also have this very unique trait to disconnect their tail willingly as a means to not just as a means to escape, but there's other reasons for it, but it's like a protection thing. So they don't actually need too much to survive. Their body primarily focuses on keeping their vital organs safe, which is pretty much just the head and then where the fins are. That segment is the only segment that they need to save. The rest is literally just they can detach from their tail if needed for survival. Like they can. And unlike with lizards, once they detach to a specific point, they they can't grow anything back. So they don't grow back. They don't.
They're just
So
nubby.
so their whole purpose is to just keep their vital organs alive. So anything excess, it won't even they'll just like, okay, bye tail, see you later. And yeah, so yeah, but it doesn't grow back. So I guess they got to be careful because then their movement would be extremely limited. I don't
Oh, they
see
lose half their goo.
I don't see too many creatures that would feed on oarfish. I just don't think there's anything that oarfish can provide, even creatures. I don't really know. And so, how did this fish actually become known as the Doomsday Fish? Like, there's the myth and there's the stories about, you know, the sea god that sends them to be messengers. But how did it become a worldwide phenomenon and known as the Doomsday Fish? There's got to be a reason for it, correct? And so we do know very little about this mysterious giant sea creature, but interestingly enough, there has been several sightings of oarfish being beached in close proximity to a natural disaster happening to the area that they landed, somewhere within the area that they landed. So, one prime example, there's a lot of examples, but I only pulled the ones that I could find different sources on, that I had to like find three different sources on.
Right.
If it was just a mention, I'm just like, okay, I can't really talk about it too much because I don't know too much more. So, and there's a lot of people like, oh, I found oarfish, but then there was no updates on if there was any natural disasters that
Right.
happened near that area. And I tried to do my research on like when people would report seeing an oarfish and then looking at like earthquake reports around that area within a specific time frame during that after that encounter with the Doomsday Fish. So I went apeshit on this one. So okay, so and I'm sure that there's many records that if we recorded them way back in the day, I feel like we would have more evidence that there might be a correlation. Right. Even though science says there's no correlation yet because they don't have enough refutable evidence, I guess. You know. So, Japan in 2011. So, on March 11, 2011, it was reported that a total of 20 oarfishes washed ashore right before a 9.0 to 9.01 magnitude earthquake hit the coast of Tohoku, which triggered a tsunami. So, they got hit with an earthquake. Then, after they got hit with an earthquake, it triggered a tsunami. And so not only did the tsunami cause like a storm and floods, it actually caused a level 7 major accident. It caused a nuclear meltdown at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Yeah. And this disaster resulted in a loss of 18,000 people. Not to take into consideration the damages that happened to the buildings, like the people that were injured, the people that were, that were.
What year was this? Is this the one in like 2000?
2011.
Yep. That's the one. They have a lot of cool view in the sense of like you get to see all the water leave.
Yeah, so they had like, 20 oarfishes wash ashore a day or two before the earthquake and tsunami hit, and then this disaster happened. And then in the Philippines in 2017, on February 8, 2017, some fishermen caught 2 oarfish. And then 2 days later, on February 10th, Surigao, which you guys probably have heard of it from the blonde girl that stayed in the Philippines for a while, and she stayed in Surigao. I think she was something Barbie, but she was there for a while, so a lot of people know where Surigao is. And so in February 10th, after they caught the 2 oarfishes, a 6.7 magnitude earthquake caused hit, and it caused a lot of damages to the city streets, to the buildings, to the bridges, and even caused a power outage for several days. And aside from all that destruction, it actually caused the death of 6 people and injured over 120 people.
Jeez, man.
And then in Japan, 2019. This one's a little weird because I feel like it's a bit it doesn't quite line up, but I have theories as to why it's becoming less and less accurate. Okay, so this one is in 2019. There was actually a few oarfishes seen. There were 2 oarfish sightings, and they actually managed to catch 2 of the oarfish alive in Japan, and then they encountered 7 more after that. This is a beach. This is them in the ocean swimming, and so fishermen are catching these fish, and then this actually sparked some fear because this sparked some fear from some of the fishermen there because they saw like, okay, the oarfish, we just caught some oarfish. This is a bad omen. And then in July 18th, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake hit Hokuriku General. Hit the Hokuriku General. Several buildings were destroyed. It was reported that 26 people were injured due to the falling debris, and then there was no death reports. But the reason I thought this was weird is because they caught these fishes rather further, like closer to the Philippines than Japan. So it was like in between Japan and the Philippines. Japan is right above the Philippines, and the Philippines is right here in the ocean. So they caught it closer to the Philippines. So it was a Philippine boat that caught these oarfishes, but these oarfishes were on their way to Japan. So even though they caught them on the boat in the ocean closer to the Philippines, the earthquake happened in Japan, and the direction of the oarfish prior to us capturing them and stopping them was towards Japan. So that's why I thought it was a little bit
interesting.
Weird. Yeah. And then in Taiwan in 2024, oh, wait, why is that? Sorry, Taiwan 2023, not 2024. Okay, there we go. On July 2023, a Filipino fisherman and his crew were fishing around Kalangaman Island, which is quite a distance away from this one, but like I said, they captured it in the ocean. And so they managed to capture a 6-foot long oarfish, which is the smallest I've seen recorded. And his crew had
Yeah,
never
dude.
seen one
Oh,
before,
huge.
but he knew what it meant when you see an oarfish. And he
Mhm.
immediately thought as like, oh, this is bad, this is bad. And then a few days later, Taiwan actually was actually hit with a 7.2 magnitude earthquake. I couldn't get
Jeez.
more information on the losses there or anything like that, but I just thought that it was interesting that the fish was heading a specific direction, and not long then a few days later, something somewhere near the vicinity that you encountered it, something bad happens. And then in California in 2024, on August 10th, 2024, a 12-foot long oarfish was found by some kayakers. And then 2 days later, August 12th, 2024, LA was hit with a 4.6 magnitude earthquake. So those are the ones that I could find different sources on, but it's why a lot of people believe that there is some truth to the theory of them being a doomsday fish. And for some people, it's not even like, oh, because they believe in mythology. For some people, they're trying to think about it in the sense that there is something
Yeah.
wrong in the bottom of the ocean that's
Yeah.
forcing these fish to go a specific way because of this. And that's what's happening is like, is that's what people are believing. So it may not be a messenger from the gods in some of the more scientific or the more realistic thinkers out there that need evidence for everything. Otherwise, it's hard to believe in mythology or religion or anything like that. And so those people, even they are like, maybe we should do some research on like where we see oarfishes and where we can find uh uh or where we can find earthquake readings or anything like that from the depths of the ocean that these fish are coming from. So there's people that believe in that theory. And so those are the ones that were actually documented. And in my research, I actually managed to trigger something. And so in my research of trying to find a connection between why people truly believe that doomsday fish are bringers of doom and bring earthquakes and tsunamis. So I was trying to do research. So like I said, I did some research on all the places that they had encounters with oarfish or oarfish were beached, and then I looked at all the earthquake tsunami reports around that time frame within that specific area to see if there's anything. And in my research, I actually managed to trigger sorry I actually managed to trigger um what I thought was, I wasn't sure if it was a memory or anything like that. So in my research, there was a lot that was relating back to the Philippines with oarfish sightings and earthquakes, and we get a lot of really bad earthquakes in the Philippines. And so while I was doing this research, I got a flashback in my mind of me being very, very young. I was very, very young, but I do vaguely remember my grandmother carrying me, panicking, and all I can see is the ground, but I'm very much aware that my grandma and my grandpa are right next to me, and they're running out, and I'm being carried, and all I can see because I'm covered is the ground, and what I can see on the ground is the ground cracking. So
Right.
I'm like, is that a dream? Is it a nightmare? Did this really happen? So I sent my sister a message saying, was I ever in the Philippines when major earthquakes happened? And my sister responded without even any hesitation. She's like, yeah, in like 1990 or 1991. And I'm all like, what? And so in 1990, there was an earthquake that happened. And that's the earthquake that my grandma and my grandpa was trying to run away from and find a safe place for all three of us to go to during this time. And so they were trying to rush me out of the house and trying to go in the streets away from buildings, trying to find somewhere that they won't have debris falling on them, pretty much. Like they
Right.
had nowhere to go. So they're like, avoid places that would have things fall on you. So they ran towards the street. And that's when I was seeing the cracks on the street and stuff like that. And
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah. And so, in my research on earthquakes and doomsday fishes, I managed to unlock a memory,
Poor
probably my
baby.
earliest memory now. My earliest memory was like my mom and my grandma with like a hummingbird flying in front of me, and I was in a garden with them, and that was my memory. And I was probably like 4 or 5 in that memory. In this memory that I'm remembering now, when I did the calculations, it happened in 1991. I was born in 1988, so I was only a few old. So I think it's one of my earliest memories that I can remember now is like the earliest memories. But yeah, so I learned about earthquakes and their connections, but I also managed to trigger a
So dig
repressed
up a memory
memory.
there.
So
Yay!
yeah, that's my review on the Doomsday Fish. I told you guys it's shorter than usual, but like I tried
it's
my
fantastic.
hardest to get more information, and like I said, it's very well known to this day. People do see them as Doomsday Fish. People talk about them, and even video games have them. And some of the hints for video games will lead them to being the Doomsday Fish. So I just
Oh
thought
yeah.
it was very curious, and I was really curious. But for some reason, I really thought it was going to be from Polynesian roots, but it came from Japanese mythology. And I learned about the sea god and the Dragon King, so or the god of dragons. So I learned a bunch of new things, plus triggered a repressed memory. So that was my research.
Love
Yay.
it. I mean, that is like a scary memory, but also it's really cool. Like at the same time, not cool like that there was an earthquake, obviously, but like that's a more unique experience than that you have now. That you're like, holy shit! Look what I look at that!
Yeah. So
Surprise!
so
Our little earthquake survivor.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too short. What'd you guys think? Did you guys already know about the
No, it was
Doomsday
not too
Fish?
short.
Did you already know?
No,
Okay.
I
I
did
played
actually.
Animal Crossing and I totally forgot that was a thing.
Yes, Animal Crossing. Yeah,
Nope, my brain kept
but I
on my brain kept on being triggered by every time I would see oarfish in the game. I'm like, oh, it's an oarfish, and then I'm like, oh, that's probably why I'm drawn to it is because it's dark and creepy lore.
but
Like,
say I think they say something in Animal Crossing like "oh no" or something like something creepy when you catch an oarfish.
and
Correctly,
I'm drawn to it, but that's why I'm a spooky ghoul. Hello, Zach. Welcome in.
right?
So that was my segment. We're gonna take a quick 3 minute break, and we'll get on to Papa Kortrah's topic, which I'm excited for because I haven't heard of anything that Papa Kortrah's gonna talk about, and I'm actually really excited about it.
Ooh,
And I feel like it's a little more personal because I feel like it's more like it's a lore from where you've been or where you're currently at, right? Different
Yeah,
things.
it's regional for where I grew up.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a
nice.
quick break.
I love
We'll be
that.
right back. We're gonna run an ad, and I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Anyways, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls, episode 22. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new about the oarfish, and I hope you found it interesting. And I'm really excited. It looks like we've got my lovely, I almost said Mama Miso back. Oh my god. Papa Kortrah and Mama Miso. Oh lordy, oh lordy, oh lordy. But yeah, so we're going to go on and move on to part 2 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast, and we're going to have Papa Kortrah, and he's covering 3 topics for us. So it's pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and get in there and say hello to everybody and show them some love. Here we go. Back to you. Hello, Papa.
Oh, hi.
So, welcome. Is this your first podcast or have you been in other podcasts before?
I think I had a brief moment in a different podcast before, but nothing with a featurette like this.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the process of the research and I hope you enjoyed the whole process of this event. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and share with us what you got planned for us?
Okay, so I've got three little mini presentations, I guess. And these are all variations of these are all cryptids from where I grew up, so South Mississippi, Louisiana. Um, and they are two of them I knew of. One through my research of trying to find something that I hadn't heard of before. I found out about this one, so uh, we'll get into that one in a minute. But the first one will be the Honey Island Swamp Monster. Um, so this is the one that was the closest to me whenever I grew up in Mississippi, because it's
Did
basically
did you
what's
believe
that?
in this one? Did you believe in these cryptids or no?
Well, I only went to this area like once out where I might actually see it, like in the wilderness. So, but when I went, I was like trying to catch fireflies, so I was a little distracted. But I was in the area where I could have made a sighting as a wee
Oh.
little lad, as a
Ooh.
scout.
Just a little
Uh,
lad.
yeah. So near Slidell, bordered by Lake Bourne and Pearl River, lies the Honey Island Swamp, a territory over 20 miles long that earned its name due to a substantial number of bees once spotted in the area. Cajun and Native American folklore, however, whispers something a bit more mysterious. And this one is going to be relatively new. I don't know the average age of cryptid lore, but a lot of it goes pretty far back. Um, this one is actually fairly recent. So in 1963, wildlife photographer Harlan Ford claimed to have seen a strange figure while looking for prospective hunting grounds. Years later, Ford and his friend Billy Mills were out hunting when they observed a large four-legged creature feeding on a mangled boar. As they drew close and raised their guns, the humanoid creature stood tall on two legs, locked eyes with the hunters, and fled further into the swamp. The Honey Island Swamp Monster has been known by many names: Cajun Sasquatch, Le Bête Noire, or the Black Beast,
Ooh.
the Thing, Louisiana Wookiee, lots of different names. No matter the name,
Louisiana
it's said to
Wookie.
it's said to resemble something out of a horror movie. The monster is approximately 7 foot tall, ape-like, with glowing yellow or red eyes, gray hair, and a foul stench that lingered after the beast's departure. There's something that's similar-ish called the skunk ape. That's a completely separate cryptid,
I've heard
though.
of that
So,
one.
And
but
where
yeah,
is that?
sometimes
Where is that in your local area, or is that somewhere else? The skunk ape.
it's local and scattered in different locations throughout the United
Oh.
States.
Okay.
Um, Harlan Ford worked for a decade to find evidence of the cryptid's existence. In his efforts, he eventually found a set of huge 3 or 4 toed, the story varies, webbed footprints next to an eviscerated boar. Ford used plaster to capture casts of the swamp monster's footprints that can presently be viewed at the Abita Mystery House in Louisiana.
Did you want me to
At-
show pictures? Let me know whenever you're ready for the pictures.
yeah, we can get to it after. After he passed, Ford's granddaughter Dana Holyfield found some lost 8mm footage from his collection that showed video of the Honey Island swamp monster. So Harlan supposedly didn't release this information. He didn't release the film that his granddaughter found later on, because reportedly he didn't want other people coming in presenting a danger, to this creature,
He
or
wanted
getting
to protect
themselves,
it. Yeah, he wanted to protect it.
Which
And
is
he wanted to
nice, yeah.
probably, yeah,
trying to let nature be nature.
yeah. I get that.
Cryptozoologists have failed to completely rule out the existence of such a creature, but if it exists, Honey Island Swamp is a perfect location for it. Holyfield stated wildlife and fisheries protects large sections of the swamp, and there are parts of the swamp that man has not set foot on. Regardless, locals and tourists alike remain enthralled by the legendary creature. So there are I remember as a kid, like even in South Mississippi, because like I said, Slidell is like the closest city in Louisiana next to where I grew up. So if I were to cross the border, that's the first city I'd be in when I got to Louisiana. Um, so it's kind of a shared cryptid between Louisiana and Mississippi. And I remember being at, I think, like a marine life or something museum on the coast, but they had random shit like a cast of the Honey Island Swamp Monster track. So that was pretty neat. But yeah, so if we could show the pictures, the first one's more stylized. Um, I guess more like a cool badass tattoo.
Okay, hold
That
on. I'm trying. Okay, Miso, how do we do this switching thing? How do we switch it again?
So there should be like a
Is it
bar
the
that
arrow?
shows.
Is it the arrows?
Yes.
Nope, it's not working. Hold on, you guys. We're working on it. We're trying something new, and I'm failing at it. So give me 1 second here, you guys.
So
Technical
did you upload them
issues.
all to there?
Yes, I did. I did.
So you might be able to hit play, like the play button, and it might go to the next one. If not, hit the arrow on the right side.
There we
It should
go.
take it to
There
the
we
next
go.
one.
There we go.
Okay.
Honey Island Swamp Monster. I like that sign. That's a cool. Hold on. I'm gonna minimize it so you guys can see the bottom.
I think it's a holy shit. I wasn't expecting all the spikes.
So good. Why is it so? Why does it have so many horns? Why is it so horny?
But it's a spiky. It's like an alligator.
Oh my goodness. Why is it?
Which makes
Yeah,
it
that
look
one's a little scalier than you usually see, as you'll as the next picture will reveal.
It's not a Bigfoot.
But yeah, you'll see variations in different people's reflections. But the next picture is mostly, if you want to go to that one, Daku, the next picture is what most people see in the imagery by the cast if they go to a museum or if they read about it or hear about it. I mean, it sounds like yet another Bigfoot Sasquatch variant. But I mean, like I said, they're regional. The Carolinas have their own. The upper states have their own. Down south has its own.
Kind of like lake monsters.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think of like the human brain, sometimes they're going to see something that looks humanoid and not really know what it is, and this isn't really a big jump to make out in one's mind as to what might look like me but isn't like me, you know?
Oh, are these the footprints?
Yeah, and those are the casts. That's the Harlan Ford Honey Island Swamp Monster tracks. So like I said, you can. Yeah, so and like I've said, there are variations. There are stories that are told of whether it's 3 foot or 4 foot. If you look at the last set of tracks right there, you can kind of see maybe there's a fourth toe there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the tracks, and you can see them presently in Louisiana, the casts.
Nice.
Because when you think of like other Bigfoot and stuff, they're like got these huge freaking feet, and those
gave
seem
me
like
more
like
chupacabra vibes. It gave me more
they're-
chupacabra vibes for sure.
Louisiana has something that's kind of chupacabra-ish. I didn't select that one though.
I feel like Louisiana has a lot of supernatural and like cryptic lore, honestly.
Yeah, and I think when I get into the older cryptids in a second, you'll see that I think there's some regional explanation for that. Different faiths congregating in this area with their own superstitions, their own spiritual beliefs, and that sort of thing. Okay, so for the next one, we'll go for the one that I didn't know about. And these are the Ursuline vampires, or the Casquette Girls. Settled as a strategic port in New France, New Orleans was largely occupied by trappers and traders camped along the Mississippi River. Since they were mostly male, Catholic priests worried about the long-term future of the French territory. As a result, French jails and brothels sent their undesirable women to New Orleans to be paired with the male settlers.
That's rude.
Yeah.
That's fucking rude. I don't like that. That's rude.
Yeah.
The name was cool. The lore's getting sadder.
Yeah. This did not go according to plan. Because these women were too sinful, the priests sought help from King Louis IV, who had the Bishop of Quebec send virtuous young women from convents and orphanages. Basically, the women didn't deal with that shit, so they pulled them from convents and orphanages. Which, I guess, side note, perhaps those first women have some influence on, like, some of the reputation of Bourbon Street and, French Quarter, that sort of area. So this group of wives-to-be was sent to New Orleans. In 1721 or 1728, the ship arrived in the port city after months of sailing across the Atlantic, with many of the passengers dying to diseases like yellow fever before the journey was complete. When those who remained disembarked from the ship, they emerged in a climate much hotter and more humid than they expected. Their skin was so unnaturally pale that it soon burned and blistered beneath the Louisiana sun. Also of note were the casket-shaped chests that held their possessions. Les filles à la cassette, or the women with suitcases, were escorted to the Ursuline convent to remain with the nuns until they were ready to be married. Not long after the arrival of the Casquette girls, numerous mysterious deaths were reported in the city.
Uh-oh.
As the young women were married off, many of the husbands mistreated them, and the women who were not married were often forced into prostitution, as it was called.
Oh,
Uh,
I hate everybody.
Eventually, King
Yeah.
Louis IV ordered the women back to France. In preparation for the women's return, the nuns of the Ursuline convent ascended to the third floor, where the coffin-shaped chests were stored, but the casquettes were empty. The sisters searched everywhere for the possessions and clothing they expected to find in the trunks, to no avail. Suspicious of misdeeds and fearful of some supernatural explanation, the nuns shuttered the third floor with silver nails blessed by Pope John Paul II. The Ursuline convent remains, to this day, the oldest building in the Mississippi Valley. Over time, the legend of the Casquette Girls has split. One version suggests that vampires were smuggled into the New World in the chests, and another version posits that the Casquette Girls themselves were the vampires, and the chests were where they slept during the day.
Hmm.
So, that's the tale of the Casquette Girls that I hadn't heard about until I did that research. In the first picture, I think as long as you have it in order, it'll be the next picture up, Daku. That's an illustration of the Casquette Girls, or in French, filles à la cassette. And that would be them arriving off, the boat, the ones that survived. The next picture is from 1934. That's a stairway where ghost hunters say that the apparitions of the Ursuline nuns can be detected still.
Oh, nice. I love, 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 love that.
Yeah. And then the third picture is essentially modern day. That's what the building looks like, the old Ursuline convent.
Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool building. I didn't see a whole lot of the interior, but I love. That's one of the things that I loved about Louisiana growing up right next to it, was like the music, the architecture, and they just have some really cool buildings. A lot of them with really, really, really messed up stories, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyone who watched American Horror Story Coven.
I was literally about to
I
say.
was just thinking about that. I wasn't saying
just
anything,
thinking
but I
that.
was just thinking about what's
Yeah.
the name of the lady, the blood lady?
That one horrible bitch.
Marie
Yeah.
Laveau.
Yes,
Or,
Yes.
Marie
no,
Laveau.
not
No, Marie
Laveau.
Laveau was someone
That was the
else.
voodoo priestess.
Who was it?
What was her name?
She was the
She was the
remind me.
blood countess of some sort. Hold on. See now?
Oh, Madame LaLaurie.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that tortured slaves, right? In her attic or
Yeah.
something of that
She's a
nature.
serial.
Yeah.
She's an actual serial killer. And
Yeah.
she would use the slaves' blood and torture them and literally drain them of blood so she can take baths. And they're, yeah, it's crazy. There's another one older than her that did that, and
she did the other one did that with schoolgirl or girls sent to her by the community.
sent to her
And
castle.
they kept
Yeah.
she was a countess.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember her name anymore, but yeah, she was a
can't either.
countess of the blood countess.
That video game Stay Alive, that movie about a video game, I think it's like Stay Alive or something from like the 2000s is about her.
Probably.
Well,
That's
I
a
almost
goofy movie.
selected the LaLaurie mansion, and I was like, oh, I should stick to cryptid.
Oh,
Okay, and
I
then
feel
the
like that
last.
building would have such heavy energy. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah. The vibes are off.
yeah. So that picture was, what was it, 1934? Yeah, 1934. Um, I'd imagine that the spirits didn't find better things to do between now and then. So yeah, I'd imagine there's a pretty heavy vibe in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
Well, she got what she
Um,
deserved at the end, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Whoever wants to do their research, it's not totally bound to facts, but American Horror Story Coven was a pretty good season.
I liked
It
American Horror. I
was.
think it's probably my favorite of their seasons. The original's always got a special place in my heart because it was the original, but like the
I
Coven one's a really really good one.
I had to give up on Hotel. Like I watched
I liked Hotel, but
everything else, but like I just got bored with Hotel.
I actually did not like
it
their
was slower.
last season. I did not like the last season with the Kardashian. I just the story went by so fast, and I'm all like,
What?
oh, is this the middle of the show? Oh, it's the end of the show. It was very, very like
I
very
didn't even know
underwhelming.
that was a thing. I'm so far
Yeah,
behind.
Kim
Yeah,
Kardashian is
Apocalypse
now
or Cult or whatever was last I saw.
there's no yeah there's one called is it Delicate? It's about this pregnant actress and shit's happening to her. It's crazy. It's
I say
but
I like
yeah.
Asylum, and then Coven,
A
Hotel,
lot of
and what's the circus one?
that's the
It wasn't a freak show, was it?
yeah freak show.
Freak Show. Yes.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, the clown was amazing. Oh, yeah,
Sidetrack.
all right. We can talk about this all day.
We'll talk about this in Ghoulish Bites. Put a pin on it.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So the last one is more like an inspiration after my avatar, um, or an explanation, I guess. So this one is the Rougarou, and it's probably my favorite cryptid.
I love that
Um,
name.
yeah. So the roots of Rougarou, or loup-garou, which is French for werewolf, go as far back as 16th century France. During the medieval times, loup-garous were essentially boogeymen, the infamous beasts blamed for everything from disappearances to deaths when no other explanation could be found. Suspected loup-garou would be put to public trial by villagers who would often agree to avoid accusation that they themselves were werewolves or witches. So, anyone who was nominated to go up and get accused of being a werewolf, everyone pretty much went along with it, so they wouldn't be blamed and accuse
Oh,
themselves.
so witch trial-y.
Very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we
French
learned.
Acadians. Yeah, you would think. Anyway, let's go into this. French Acadians arrived from Nova Scotia in the late 1700s, and through their Cajun dialect, for those who don't know, Cajun comes from Acadian. Say it fast, you'll get it. The term loup-garou evolved to rougarou. The creature is
Oh,
bipedal or bipedal. Bipedal? I think it's
bipedal.
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 Bipedal sounds right. Yeah.
Bipedal sounds correct.
With the head of a wolf or dog, glowing red or yellow eyes, and sharp teeth. Commonplace for cryptids, the origin is varied. One angle from the French Catholics suggests that one becomes loup-garou upon failing to follow the rules of Lent for 7 consecutive years. Looking at a rougarou in the eyes may also turn someone into the creature. Once a rougarou, the curse persists until it is passed to another by biting someone after having been a loup-garou for 101 days. Convincing a witch or voodoo priestess to break this curse is another way to regain humanity. It is said that mirrors showing the rougarou its reflection can ward from the cryptid. Also, the beast is unable to count past 12, so putting 13 items on a doorstep is said to confuse the creature until daylight when it will be forced to flee.
Oh no. Yes. The one like
Uh,
the one time that the number 13 is actually related to something positive.
Wearing silver is another method of warding, and cutting off the creature's head is said to be the most effective way to kill it. The rougarou is said to frequent swamps from Acadiana to Terrebonne Parish, and its presence is announced by a low howl that echoes across the marsh. It is said that the swamp grows quiet when the rougarou is on the prowl. Its hunger seems to be particularly strong on Halloween and during full moons, causing it to hunt closer to towns than it usually would. The ominous Rougarou is alive and well to this day. Homa has the annual Rougarou Fest, an event that celebrates the folklore of Louisiana's cryptid. Live music, Cajun food, cosplay, and even a parade are all part of the celebration that was hailed by USA Today as one of the top 10 costume parties in the United States.
I love
And
that.
that is the Rougarou in a nutshell.
Question.
And
I don't know the dates on this, but like, is the Rougarou like where werewolf mythology roots from, or is it just related to werewolves in a sense? Do they
I think
shapeshift?
with Rougarou, it's more so not something that can be um, changing depending on like the full
Okay, so it's not a
moon or
shifter.
at will. Yeah, so it's not a shifter like I think the Romanian uh, base origin is. This one's more so like curse derived. So um,
Oh, okay.
a lot of most lore would say that Lougarou or Rougarous are stuck that way, and they can turn others that way, but they can't shift at will.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's very interesting that they can. So if they bite somebody and they pass it on, do they no longer, or they're no longer afflicted with the curse? They've passed it to the next
No,
person, or do they
it just
still
makes
have it?
more. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
For the you have to wait. Sorry, that one was different. Um, you can pass that one on and break the curse um, if you bite someone after 101 days of service, I guess, as a Lugaroo. Yeah, so
You
you
gotta do
gotta
your
be that for
time.
101 days, and then you bite someone. Kind of like earning vacation time. You gotta work full time so long. Um, but yeah, so
Volunteer work, I see.
yeah, so you gotta bite someone after 101 days, or you gotta be lucky and have a witch or a
Community
voodoo
Yeah.
priest.
service.
So you need some
Yeah,
community service. Yeah, you need to clock in some community service for the Rougarou. Oh
Which is
man.
really
yeah,
interesting
they
because
don't
in
get
like the
painted.
typical werewolf lore, it's like you can pass it on, but you keep, you know what I mean? Like you're still a werewolf too,
Right.
and you're just kind of like spreading it. But with this one, you can like get rid of it. So it's a very
Yeah,
interesting little
sometimes
difference.
a lot of my lore that's in my head already is from role playing games, because like Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf
Oh my
Apocalypse, all
god,
So good.
yes.
like they'll pull from a lot of different threads because these cryptids, not all. I wouldn't say many of them are exclusively regional because a lot of them tap into like the archetypes that we have in our heads, right? The shadowy images that we all see throughout the history of time, throughout, wherever we are in the world. Our brain's going to try to come up with some sort of explanation for it. So, yeah, a lot of times I have to try to detach my brain from like, what is it? What am I? What am I trying to spit out right here? And did I learn it from a White Wolf book or a D&D book, or
You're like, where am I pulling my roots from?
yeah?
Where are
Because
my
like
roots?
in the tabletop role playing game, werewolves are like defenders of Gaia, or defenders of like the natural world and that sort of thing, and vampires are, without going too far, like servants of evil, basically,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Right.
Which is not very tied to like the actual lore that you'd get if you researched like vampires and werewolves and that sort of thing. But at some
Right.
point, somebody said it, so it gets rolled into the video games or the tabletop role playing games, that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Word of
I,
mouth is so interesting.
I love how cryptids end up
Mhm.
in video games. I love how creatures end up in video. I love that. It's got such an influence on pop culture. It's great.
It really is. And it's really cool, just like with Bigfoot and the werewolf stuff, like every part of the world has their own variation of Bigfoot or the Yeti, and it's the same thing with with werewolves or the Rougarou, as you will. Every
Lug
part of the world has its
Lugaroo? Is it Lugaroo or
Lougarou. Is it
Lugaloo?
Rougarou?
Or Lugaloo?
It's Commonly right now, or commonly these days, it's Rougarou.
Rougarou.
Rougarou. All one word. Now that's derived from loup-garou, which is
Okay.
Loup, which is French for wolf, and Garou.
Right.
So,
Okay. Okay, that makes
and
sense.
those are two different words. So, yeah, that's
Crazy.
Which is
that's
really
where
cool
we are.
how every
So, do
part of
you
the
want me
world
to?
has their own lore like that.
Yeah, you did a when we did the Bigfoot episode. You did one from China, right? Yours was from China.
Yes.
Yep, mine was from Minnesota.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure there's. I wish there was like a class for that whenever I was studying to become a therapist, but I'm sure like the psychology of cryptids or whatever would be a really cool course because I can already see like the Jungian archetypes and the hive mind that we have, the collective mentality, um,
Very evident
coming up with these
nowadays.
things. Yeah, coming up with these same things at the same time on the opposite sides of the world. You know?
With no communication is so
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and show the
Oh yeah.
pictures for Papa
Yeah. Show the
Kortrah.
pictures, please. Sorry. The last one is my very favorite. So the first one
Please.
again more stylized. Um,
I love it. It looks great.
the Rougarou.
I love
Yeah, it
the
looks
art
really.
style. It looks so good.
I think the second one was probably pulled from like a Magic the Gathering card
That
or
looks like a
werewolf.
D&D book. That
Yeah,
looks like
yeah,
That
D&D
one does.
illustration.
It
yeah.
has like a bat face too. Like it
It-
has like the werewolf body, but almost
it's
bat.
given it's given Bat Squatch almost. It's given the look
Yeah.
of
So
Bat Squatch.
Were bat.
as a big werewolf fan, like I found that media throughout the years has done very interesting things with werewolves. They either have like the brief fat heads, or they have like the elongated snouts, or that sort of thing. Yeah. And in the last picture is my favorite.
I
During
love it.
the initial onset of COVID, visitors to the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans would be able to see the Rougarou exhibit right here, and it would be appropriately masked up. You can't see in the picture, but they had like some Germex and stuff on the ground by its feet and that sort
That's
of thing.
funny.
Oh my
Um,
god.
well, yeah. So like,
I
I don't know that you
love
can
that
zoom
so
in, but there's
much.
like I think there's like a vaccination record in its hand.
You see the
Yeah.
little vaccine in the
Okay,
arm, the little
so
needle.
it's funny that you brought that picture because I love that picture. But during the Virginia incident, I think it's episode 2 of the podcast, I talk about the Virginia incident, and they had like statues of aliens built randomly in different places. And those statues during COVID, people would put masks on said statues during
It's
COVID.
great.
So I love that that was something that was passed on to, oh god, don't look at that, don't look at it, to this guy. This guy is great. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
He's hilarious.
it was there last time I went to the Audubon Zoo, but it's been a number of years. I don't imagine they would have taken it down, but it's been, yeah, it's been. I think they keep it over by the snakes. So if you're ever in New Orleans, I highly suggest checking out Audubon Zoo and go and visit the Rougarou or the Lougarou while you're there.
I love that so much. I love it. Oh god, that is so cool. I think my favorite that you covered was the werewolves for sure, but not the werewolves, the Rougarou. Um, but yeah, the Casquette Girls. I've heard of the Casquette Girls. There was like a book that I wanted to read, but I just haven't had the time to do it. That I believe talks about the stories of the Casquette Girls. Oh,
That one's very
sadness.
interesting, but obviously very tragic. Yeah, especially the fact that a lot of them died just being shipped over here to essentially be pre-married off and to be
Yeah,
baby
Brett.
factories. Like that
Yeah.
sucks. Jeez, man.
Oof, that's
Like
a
why'd you
rough
give such
one.
a fun name?
Yeah, Casket Girl. No, we not a good thing.
It's like a Brock band.
It's kind of like, what was the name of the girls that worked with the watch company, and they would use their saliva.
The Radiation Girls.
The Radiation Girls. Oh my god, that we haven't covered that, but I love to cover
tragic.
that because it is
That is a
crazy.
punk name.
Yeah,
That would be a good band name.
it's crazy. Did you have anything else, Papa Kortrah? Anything
No,
else to
that's
thread?
it.
Okay, so I am excited for that. I have never heard of any of those except for the Casket Girls, but I didn't know too much about the Casket Girls. But I think I love the Lougarou, and Like, maybe I need to
It's
change your
amazing.
model so that's no longer a silver wolf and make it into a more dark shade wolf. I made yours so sparkly too. It's like a silver fox.
So sparkly.
I made
Well, I
it so
think
sparkly.
it was to pay homage to that Temtem that
Oh
we had a
yeah,
long
to
time ago.
Mamo. I think his name was Momo.
Momo? Momo.
Momo. Yeah, it was. That's why it was
Yeah,
that.
when we Temtemed.
So, thank you for that topic. We're gonna go ahead and do another break, and then we'll get into Meso's topic, which
That
I'm
was
excited
awesome.
for. I'm excited. It's gonna be our first time covering a haunted object in our channel.
It's
Well,
actually our
not really. It's our
second.
second because I'm sorry.
Robert the doll.
Robert the doll is a doll. So for me, I don't think of it as an object. I think of it as a doll, like
Well,
a cursed
I feel
item.
like
But I guess a doll would be considered an item. I just
but
see
say I
dolls
feel like
as
he's
like
a cursed item / possessed doll. Like he's kind of like
And
in a weird
there's
in
Annabelle,
between for
too.
me.
We haven't covered Annabelle yet, and I really wanted to cover it. And I know that that Toasty's planning to join us, but Toasty's covering something not related to Annabelle, even though Toasty has lots of information on Annabelle. So I might
And
have
there's
to
some
do
fresh
Annabelle
lore with
halfway
Annabelle
up.
that just
I
happened. I'm
know,
sure you
that's why
saw
I'm
on the
more curious
news.
about it.
Annabelle is actively killing people to this
Listen,
day.
she's just
Right now.
taking them out, brother.
That's not funny, Daku, but it's I can't. I shouldn't smile. It's tragic, but at the same time, it's like keep doubting, man. Them doubters. It's good when there's something paranormal, and then that paranormal thing starts to kind of have some pretty good evidence behind it that you're just like, maybe. All right.
Maybe don't fuck with it all. Maybe don't fuck with it
Maybe
all.
don't fuck
And
with it
pay
all.
attention to the warfish.
Just in case.
All right, so let's run our ad, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're good. I was checking to make sure that I didn't have my mic muted before I started talking to you guys. Welcome back, everybody. I swallowed water down the wrong tube, so of course, right when I'm about to talk on the mic is when we're good. Sorry, water down air pocket, not good. As I drink more water. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my voice is cracking. Welcome back, everybody. I'm like coughing so hard I'm crying. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic so far today. We had Papa Kortrah cover some pretty fun things. He covered the Rougraou. He covered the Casquette Girls, and then the first one. Hold on. I'm gonna ask Papa. I'm gonna phone. I'm gonna dial for help. So I'm gonna use one of my phone lines for this.
Even after the water receded, it just left
Hi, baby.
so much destruction.
Hello,
Hi.
Hi. So, sorry, I'm choking. I can't remember the first topic you covered. I'm just focused on Rougraous. What was the first one?
The first topic I covered?
Yeah, the Bigfoot, the
lizard
Bigfoot.
The Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Honey Island Swamp Monster. Couldn't remember that one for the life of me, guys. But yes, and then he covered the Casquette Girls and the Rougraou. So welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Thank you, Papa Kortrah. I really enjoyed those topics. I really like the Rougraou for sure. I keep on wanting to say Lugaloo, but you've already corrected me, so it's not. It's just my brain's like Lugaloo. It's fun to say. But yeah, so we covered those three topics from the area that he grew up in. So it's really cool to have lore that close to you, to be honest. Like for me, the closest thing we got is the Fresno Nightcrawlers, and that's like 3 to 4 hours away from me. And then the next closest thing to us is Tahoe Tessie, who is the lake monster shared by Nevada and California. So, it's up there. But those are the closest to me. I've never been close to anything aside from like my belief in the Mananangals and stuff like that in the Philippines. I didn't grow up in an area that has their own cryptid. How dare we? I wish we had our own cryptid. It'd be great.
I feel like Ohio's gotta have some.
Hey, don't let your dreams be dreams. You can grow up to be your own cryptid.
That's right.
So, my lovely waifu Meso, welcome back. We're happy to have you back. We missed you last month, and
I missed you.
I was really happy that Kate was able to help us in that situation.
She's such a lightsaber. Lifesaver. She's a light in the darkness.
And so,
yeah, that's right.
What do you have for us tonight, and I'm so excited about this one.
So I have the Hope Diamond, the cursed Hope Diamond. I believe to me, it's our second-ish cursed object. 'Cause I do believe Robert Dahl could
He
be
is an
considered a cursed
item.
object.
He is the cursed item, but at the same time, I
But
don't know why with
but he's
the
also
doll
possessed.
with the doll entities, I don't categorize them as items. Like with the doll entities, something in my brain doesn't categorize them as items. I think it's because they look like they're human, maybe that they're more.
They feel maybe
that
more
they
like
feel like
Yeah, they're
humanesque.
personified.
Yeah, so for
They have
me,
like a face, right?
Yeah, so for me, it's hard for me to see dolls as like haunted dolls specifically. Dolls
That's
I know
fair.
are items, but haunted dolls specifically,
Well,
I don't consider items. I consider
and when you're
them as
thinking of
dolls,
like
like
the
they're an entity.
curses,
Yeah.
the Hope Diamond is more of like a curse,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Robert the Doll is more of like a possession type deal,
But they
where
are
it's
just
like you
items.
could
Yeah.
consider it like a human being maybe, or like a human entity, or like some kind of entity that's more conscious in Robert than the Hope Diamond isn't conscious, it's just cursed. So I can see that difference for sure. But yes, the Hope Diamond, I'm sure some people have heard of this one because it's quite a famous cursed object.
I mean,
I did compress some of this information because a lot of the info I found was about like the type of diamond it was and how many different forms and settings it was placed into. Like by
like how
settings,
many
I mean
times it
like,
was recut.
yes, and like put in like different types of jewelry or whatever. Like, for example, it's been recut, like you said, like many times.
Yes.
And it's been put into different settings, like the French crown jewel. Another was a contemporary mount called the Cartier setting that had like 16 other colorless diamonds that allowed it to be worn as a head ornament or a necklace. And most recently, it was given the setting called Embracing Hope. And Daku, if you don't mind pulling up the photos to show them what its current state looks like.
So this is it currently.
It's a goddamn fish again.
But I say, oh my god. So yes, and this is the most current setting, and it's called Embracing Hope, and the diamond itself is the Hope Diamond. So the big bluish one in the center, that is the Hope Diamond. The other ones are just added little bing like diamonds to kind of snazz it up.
It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful curse
for
object.
a diamond, especially.
It's
yeah, but because I'm not a huge fan of diamonds.
It's one of those
especially
things that,
after
like,
this.
It's so beautiful, but it is a cursed object, so don't touch it. Like for me, I'm like, cursed object. You got to remind yourself here. It's a cursed object.
Cursed, no touchies.
I would want to put that on, you know.
A lot of people do. A lot of people want to.
Oh, God.
And do.
Oh,
or
God.
did.
Oh, God. Okay. Continue. Sorry, I'm really excited about this.
So, it's very interesting. So, but I wanted to, like, I compressed it down because, again, there's a lot of history on just different settings and all this other stuff that I wanted to focus more on the cursed aspect of it. That has a lot of history. So if you want to look more into that, I highly recommend it because there's quite a bit of information. But like I said, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Hope Diamond, as it's an extremely famous cursed object. And like I said, I'm not much of a diamond girly. It is very beautiful for a diamond, especially because it's like a blue color more than that like typical white or clear
hold on.
diamond.
Hold on. Is it the same item as it was in this one really, really, really popular movie back in the day that you would watch in 2 tapes with Leonardo DiCaprio?
The Titanic?
Yes.
You know what? I did not see anything about it being based off the Titanic.
I thought that's in, but I could be wrong. But I thought that was supposed to be I thought that was supposed to be the Hope Diamond as well, but I don't recall. I could be very wrong. So
they called it the heart of the ocean, but yeah,
I think it was.
Yes.
For the Hope Diamond.
Yes, I literally just looked. You know what? I can't believe I didn't think about that because I just looked it up. It said yes, the heart of the ocean necklace in the movie Titanic was inspired by the Hope Diamond. Yeah. Now, obviously, the heart of the ocean wasn't real, but That is
Hope
still
diamond is.
very cool. It even looks like it. When I'm looking at the picture, it even looks a lot like it. That's funny.
They
I never did
actually did that
about
on purpose to add some extra, like to
more
add a little
flair.
tongue in cheek,
Mhm.
like it is a cursed object. So it was definitely
Right.
like the reason that Titanic
That
sunk is
fucking
because the
necklace.
Hope Diamond was on the ship. Like that was like the, so that was kind of like they were kind of tongue in cheek in that, but that yeah. So
Remind me for the ghoulish bites to talk about a theory about why the captain. One of the theories of the captain sinking the Titanic because of a mummy.
okay,
Because that just reminded me of that. Side tangent there. Because I
yeah.
will
Well,
spiral and I will get distracted if I
oh
talk
yeah.
about it
Okay,
now.
I've made the note. I've made the note for ghoulish bites. I've made the note for ghoulish bites. I have lots of notes today, so that's good.
But yes, so let's talk about what the Hope Diamond is. It is a 55.52 carat blue violet diamond. That's a big fucking diamond. It's been famed for its great size since the 17th century. It was also mined around the 17th century from the Kolor mine in Guntar, India. Its size even helped reveal new information about the formation of diamonds because it was such a spectacle, such a rare find. I don't think it's something that was ever found before, especially the size of it. Crazy. That's a lot of the history there is just
Absolutely.
about how
Question.
it
When it
helped
was,
there.
did they give you the size of when it was first discovered to what it is now? I'd be curious to see how much smaller it's
Um,
gotten from
I
when they first
feel like
did it. I'm
I
just really
didn't
curious.
note it, but they said that when they weighed it, so it's kind of hard to find the exact amount that's been kind of shaved off because when it was recut, they actually didn't take too much off it. I feel like it's still around 50 or 45 carats. I think it might got a little bit smaller, but they kind of just reshaped it more
The
than anything.
uncut, it says that the uncut Hope diamond was 112
Oh wow, yeah, I did not see that.
112 carats, 3 by 16 old French carats.
Fucking
That's what, yeah.
huge.
So it was a,
So the
yeah,
45 must be after it's been cut down.
it was reduced a lot. So it was
Wow, yeah. So
112
scratch what I
carats.
said. That
Yeah,
thing's
that's what I'm
fucking
just like,
huge.
wait. So yeah, because I remember, like, it's got to get smaller, and I just want to see how many
Right,
times it
because
had
they
to get
shaped
cut.
it, yeah. And it's probably lost more. I don't know if the 45.52 carats after like its final stages now or when they first started cutting it. So it could have been even bigger before and now is around 45 carats. But I do know it was so fucking big, even bigger than I thought, that it changed how they learned, like scientifically, how they studied diamonds and things of that nature. Like it was like a kind of like a revolutionary diamond. Um, but the first records or first recorded history of the Hope Diamond was in 1666 when French gem merchant John Baptiste Tavernier purchased it in India in its uncut form. So this was when it was the big ass rock, big old honkin' rock. Um, the 100 whatever carats, big rock. But after cutting it, he renamed it the French Blue or Le Bleu de France. Tavernier then sold it to King Louis XIV of France in 1668.
Can I show
But it
you
was then
one second?
stolen.
Can I show you guys something really, really cool, real quickly?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so one second. We'll just put a bookmark in it because I was just so curious.
Fish.
Actually, I'll show it after you're done because it shows all the cuts, or well, like the original to what it is now. So I think I'll wait. I'll wait to show it
How
to
did
you
I not
guys.
find that? Yes,
I
please do. I'm glad you found that because I did not see that. I need to see it with my eye holes. I did not see. Also, didn't realize that fish had holes in it. He's seen some shit. Anyway, deterring. Um, so it was then sold to King Louis XIV in 1668, but it was stolen in 1792 and recut with the largest piece of the diamond resurfacing. So that must be the 45 carat part of it resurfacing under the name Hope in 1839 in a gem catalog from the Hope banking family, which is where it got its most well-known name from, the Hope Diamond. So, the Hope Diamond also exhibits an unusually intense, brilliant red light when it is exposed to short-wave ultraviolet light, leaving a glow-in-the-dark effect that persists for some time after the light source has been shut off. This phenomenon in blue diamonds actually helps scientists decipher real ones from fake ones. So they use this ultraviolet light to test if blue diamonds are real or not. But the Hope diamond itself has a stronger, brighter red glow to it than most blue diamonds.
Sorry, babe.
So
My mic cut off. Sorry.
okay.
I'm back. I was like trying to talk and yeah. I continue. Sorry.
But yeah, it glows incredibly bright and longer than most blue diamonds, and in like a really red, crazy color. But this is just kind of like touching on the origins and properties. So we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of why it's considered cursed. The Hope Diamond is said to bring misfortune and tragedy to those who own, wear it, and sometimes even just touch it. Which, believe it or not, has actually raised the gem's value by enhancing its mystery and appeal. People really, like I said, people really want to own, touch, and wear this cursed motherfucking gem. They want it
Well,
bad.
I can't judge because remember when you were talking about the ruby, the bloodstained rubies um uh from
Oh, I
the
do.
from the Japanese what was it called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it was.
The
But I was just like I would love to own a
Slipmouth Woman, I believe.
yeah, I'm like I would like to own like a ruby that's like tinted with their blood forever. And I'm just like why would anyone want to wear the Hope Diamond? Why would I want to wear a bloody stone for Christ's sake?
People love, and it's just like I feel like it's part of human nature, maybe even like a lot of people want to own cursed objects. There's a lot of people that own serial killer memorabilia. There's a lot of people that own cursed there's a whole museum that Zach Bagans, I think his name is, owns, that was the what is those people's names? I can't remember their names.
The
The
occultist or the
the
ghost
two
adventures? Which ones?
Yeah, well, he bought the museum from the oh my god, they're a man and a woman. They were actually terrible people, but the Lorraines,
Okay.
the Warrens, yeah, awful people. But that's who owned the museum before Zach Bagans. Um, Now let's see here. According to some accounts, the diamond was originally, before it was sold off to John Baptiste, stolen from a temple, and the eye from a temple in out of an eye of a statue of the Hindu goddess Sita, leaving it cursed to bring suffering and misfortune to anyone who touched or possessed the diamond. So, the main reason why people believe that it was cursed is because it was stolen from this Hindu temple in India out of the eye of the statue of Sita.
Oh.
However,
Seems to make sense. Yeah.
I say that you shouldn't do that. However, it said that this is likely the creation of Western authors of the Victorian era, leaving the origins of the curse up for speculation. So some people say that is the origins of the curse, and some people say, well, maybe I think people were just writing that to try to sell newspapers and the diamond itself, which is actually a big speculation for the curse in and of itself, is that people wanted to make money. Money, money, money.
Money.
But there's a lot here where I'm like, I don't know, like I'm pretty skeptical, but there's a lot of suffering. It really it really goes through people. Um However, the curse originated certainly left a trail of suffering, and we're going to start with King Louis the 14th, who we discussed earlier purchased the Hope Diamond from Jean Baptiste, which was then known as the French Blue, and not the Hope Diamond, it was the French Blue at the time. And King Louis actually ended up getting gangrene and died. It is then said that Nicholas Fouquet, who, if you ever heard the Man in the Iron Mask,
Sorry, babe. I'm sorry. Give us a
is it the word
second.
Fouquet?
What's that? Farquad? What's that?
Fouquet? It has to be Fouquet.
Okay, I heard Quad is what I heard. And I'm all like, that is an unfortunate last name.
Farquad.
No.
Fouquet. You know I can't pronounce things. God for
No, it's
Farquad.
cute. It's cute. I couldn't contain that laughter because my brain was just like, fuckwad. Fuckwad. Oh
Fuckwad.
no.
Just a little fuckwad in his Iron Mask.
God. I love the man in the Iron Mask. A lot of people will not admit that they love that movie. I love that movie. It was a great movie.
Nicholas Fuckwad was the Man in the Iron Mask. And he actually was working for King Louis XIV. And he had worn the fringe blue, the Hope Diamond, for a special occasion. And then shortly after he wore this, he fell out of favor with the king, obviously before the king died of gangrene. And he was banished from France and was sentenced to life in prison, spending the last 15 years of his life in the fortress of Pingol before dying.
Well.
After King Louis XIV died, King Louis XVI and his spouse, Marie Antoinette.
No. Oh my.
Which I'm sure many of you have heard of her.
No. Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
They inherited the Hope Diamond, or the French Blue. And then they were both guillotined during France's turbulent political era. So, And Marie, but say interesting. Oh no. To be fair, he got guillotined first, King Louis XVI, and I think it was a few months later, she got guillotined, but they both got guillotined after inheriting this.
I guess like they know what they did.
Well, they had a very expensive diamond and, some other stuff, during the French Revolution.
Congratulations, you're king and queen now. Here's a really, really expensive diamond that you don't know is cursed.
Hopefully this doesn't influence anything. Anyway, but they definitely got guillotined after owning it. And Marie Louise, Princess de la Belle, who was a member of Marie Antoinette's court and was her closest confidant, temporarily wore the Hope Diamond, also died shortly, although it didn't say how she died, it just said that she had also died shortly after wearing this necklace in the court with Marie Antoinette.
Oh my god.
Now, it's got a laundry list, I'm telling you. Now, during the French Revolution in 1791, the Hope Diamond, as we said earlier, was stolen, after they were guillotined and all that stuff, and recut. William Foss, a Dutch jeweler who was responsible for cutting the diamond in the way we see it today. So it was the final cut of it, not the final setting, but the final cut. Cuts made to it. After cutting the diamond, his own son then stole it, murdered him, and then also killed himself. After this, the diamond's whereabouts were a mystery. It just disappeared for a while after this guy murdered his dad, stole the diamond, and then killed himself. Until it appeared again in the Hope family's banking collection, which we also briefly discussed, in 1839, debuting under the name Hope Diamond. And in 1910, the diamond, now owned by a Greek merchant named Simon Melkenrides, I can't pronounce this man's name, Melkenrides, who resold the diamond to a man named Pierre Cartier. Shortly after selling it to Cartier, Simon drove off a cliff with his whole family. His children and his wife. They just drove right off a cliff. Yeah.
Wow. So, curse be strong. Curse be real strong. It's
a laundry list. It's a lot.
I mean, if this diamond had its own death note, I wonder if each
Brother,
if there's their name is etched somewhere in one of the diamond's many
little corners. Yeah,
corners.
every little cut.
It's just got a name of every single person it's killed already. It's just marked with
Oh,
it.
it was just fucking knocking them out, man. It was just going nonstop. And then in 1912, a woman named Evelyn Wash McLean, a rich heiress to the Washington Post and the Cincinnati Inquirer, yes, those newspapers, after a lot of drama, ended up buying the Hope Diamond from Pierre
Oh
Cartier, who got it from
no.
Simon, the man who drove off the cliff. For context on the drama, but also condensed because it expanded a few years, she had essentially agreed to buy the diamond, but then backed out of the sale with Pierre after 2 years of negotiating for said sale. And having an extremely valuable diamond actually wasn't good for business. It was actually a huge money drain, and the whole
Why?
reason of having it, putting the money into buying it was to sell it for a profit. But he hadn't been able to sell it for a profit. He had to insure it, and he had lost a tremendous amount of money holding on to this, trying to make the sale with her, and it was in limbo. He couldn't try to sell it to anybody else because it was already in like this financial limbo, legal limbo, pretty much with McLean. So again, he lost a ton of money buying it in the first place, but he thought, oh, I'll just resell it and it'll be, I'll make a
Hmm.
lick. But
Did anything happen
you
to
know,
Cartier? Okay.
so yeah, but I say
Because it's already changed hands, so I'm all like, what happened to the previous
yes.
owner of
Well,
said
not
diamond?
everybody that bought it suffered from tragedy in the sense of dying, but also financial
Oh, his
tragedy and
business
becoming
was
ruined.
suffering. His business was
Yes.
suffering. Okay,
He
yeah.
was becoming ruined by this. And this
Okay.
this was a it was like a very mental slog for him and his brother who co-owned the company with him. It drained them mentally and financially, this
Because of the
big battle with
insurance on
her.
it. Because
Well,
they
not
have to.
even just that, just like, yeah, but say trying to sell it, they were going broke. And it was like, I mean, imagine being in a legal back and forth with somebody for 2 years
And
and
then them
just
just
like, yeah,
backing
I'll
out. They're
buy
like,
it.
no.
Meh, oh,
No, change my
yeah,
mind.
no, yeah, exactly. Um, but so the diamond essentially played havoc with Pierre's firm's cash flow. Even several weeks after Evelyn had finally received the diamond, and the contracts for the sale had been signed, Pierre still hadn't received a single cent. At one stage, she even tried to send the diamond back to Pierre. Fed up with her antics, Pierre, then 2 months after the sale had been agreed upon, filed a legal suit against Evelyn. Evelyn then realized there was no legal way to back out of the deal and finally paid for the Hope Diamond. These financial woes were said to be the curse that Pierre experienced from the diamond, as even after the sale, with the legal fees, the cost of buying and holding the diamond and their inventory, the firm ended up taking a huge loss. So it really destroyed his business.
That's nuts.
So I'm reading. I'm reading. Hip, 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 hip. Oh, it's a Pokemon on the thing. I was like, what the fuck is a hip hip?
Hop it.
A hip, a hip, hip,
Hop it.
a hop hip,
Hop it. Hop it.
hop hop hop. But Evelyn had decided that she was going to buy it for real. If she was going to buy it for real, she was going to have it blessed at a church. Um,
You okay?
so because
Yeah.
of the history of the of the curse was already like well rumored, she was even warned about the curse of the necklace by May Yo, the ex-wife of Thomas Hope, who previously, the Hope Diamond family that renamed the diamond essentially,
Right.
had warned her like, hey, this shit is cursed, man, it's cursed. So she said, if I'm going to buy this, I'm going to have it blessed at a church. The blessing took place in the church of Russell Monsieur. While waiting the blessing, it was on a big pretty pillow, it was getting ready to be blessed. Suddenly, like on cue, lightning flashed and thunder shook the building right when it began to be blessed, which freaked everybody out, obviously. Many to this was, they took this as a warning. But Evelyn actually said that the necklace to her was her charm. She would even have her Great Dane wear it as a collar. Like, she put this diamond on her dog. Rich people are weird as hell, brother. Like, she would also hide it in her garden during parties as like a hide and seek game. Like, find the diamond. And let me tell you something. This
Or you
diamond
can
is
touch it, you're
estimated,
fucking cursed.
Right? Oh,
right?
man.
Find the cursed diamond.
No, thank you.
Diamond necklace is valued at $350 million. Okay. And she would put it on her dog and hide it in her fucking yard. All right. Like,
Take that,
that
the
is
pores.
wild. The bitch say, ha, silly pores. They can never hide their $350 million diamond in their yard. Like, bitch. And though she said it was her charm, it was a charm to her, a lot of bad luck followed her. So that might have showed otherwise. And it began with her mother-in-law suddenly dying, and then her son died at the age of 9, and then her husband left her for another woman before he died in a psychiatric hospital, and then her daughter died of a drug overdose. So, mother-in-law died, son died, husband left her for another woman, then he died, then her daughter died of a drug overdose. Okay. Not only this, but toward the end of her life, she became so poor that she had temporarily like sold the diamond, bought it back, and then she would travel with it because she no longer could afford her extravagant ways of traveling. She would travel on like a normal train stuff with it just in her underwear, essentially. Just jangling around in there.
Maybe that's how she kept herself alive. She's like, I'm gonna wear this so this bitch doesn't kill me.
I'm never
She's
letting it go.
I'm wearing this because this bitch is gonna kill me when I don't wear it.
Crazy.
If
Yeah,
I
maybe the
leave-
curse is when you let go of it.
Yeah.
Maybe. But say as soon as it leaves your hands, apparently. I say that shit. You let someone else wear it temporarily, and you die of gangrene or something. It's crazy. Don't do it.
Nope.
But she also was so destitute that she ended up selling her newspaper, the Washington Post. Like, and this woman was mad, like rich. Like, she was a rich fucking bitch, dude. Like, she was very wealthy. So not only did a lot of her family die, and she also experienced like the romantic turmoil with her husband leaving her, and then he fucking died, and her children died. But she also became destitute, essentially, compared to what she was. Sorry, a little dry. It's the curse. But she actually died owing huge debt. Like, she was in insane debt. And her surviving children ended up selling the diamond to a famous jeweler in 1949. The jeweler then in 1958 donated it to the Smithsonian Institution, the Smithsonian Museum. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. Though the jeweler, as far as I could find, was unscathed. Like, he did not suffer from the curse. But the mailman who carried it in the post, it was just mailed in the regular post, this expensive ass necklace. The mailman who delivered it to the Smithsonian shortly after was in a very bad truck accident.
Oh no.
He survived, but was fucked up. And they also
He
suffered
was
a
just
separate.
working. Oh my god.
I know, he was just. Maybe he took it out and played with it for a little bit. I don't know, but he fucked up by touching it. But he also then suffered a head injury in a separate incident, and then his house burned down. So, not great.
No,
Don't even
that's pretty
fucking
terrible.
touch it. Don't put it in the post. Also, can we talk about how crazy it is to mail a $350 million diamond to Smithsonian in the post?
That to me, I
Like,
can't even
you couldn't
imagine.
even special deliver it.
But I'm just
Can't even
like,
special deliver that bitch.
damn. Oh my god.
That poor guy. He was just doing his job. But I also have a little list of some more ill-fated wearers besides the most famous cases I discussed, there's ones in between as well.
Oh my god.
So
here we go. Let's
yeah,
see.
I'm
Let's see the
serious.
death
It's
note
crazy.
of the diamond. These names are getting
So-
etched in each carat.
I was shocked.
How many
how
fuckwads are on
many-
this list?
It's a very old diamond, and they are almost all shitty rich people, to be fair. So it's like, you know,
wonder-
it's not like they deserve their fates, but it's also like not super shocking.
My dark
that,
humor almost came
like,
out of me, guys. It's really bad.
Marie Antoinette, for example, you know, her and her husband were not like well liked, right? So it's not necessarily shocking that they got guillotined. Don't know if I can blame the diamond for that one or if it was just a fucked up coincidence, but it did happen after they
Yep.
got it. So, you know. But so we have Jacques Colette, who bought the diamond from a man named Simon, not the one that drove off the bridge, but Simon Frankel.
So is it Jacques Colette? Jacques Colette?
Yeah, Jacques. Yeah, you say that way better. Jacques
Colette
my
is
hick
one.
ass accent. I best say, but he then later committed suicide. Then we had Prince Ivan Kanifsky, who bought it from Colette and was then killed by Russian revolutionaries.
And then did it get taken by the Russians?
Was who committed? Yeah, he got killed by revolutionaries, brother.
I know, but then the revolutionaries touched the diamond.
Oh, didn't say they suffered from it. No, he loaned it. It seems like he loaned it out.
Oh.
So before he was murdered. So he loaned it out to a woman named Milou Ladou. I hope someone's listening to this and just like, Jesus Christ, you just pronunciation is bad, brother. We know that's me at this point. If you listen to this podcast, that's just it do be like that. I'm a hick. I cannot pronounce things.
Listening to it and gonna be
I
like,
can barely
"Mare."
speak They'll say someone's French and angry right now. There's a very angry French person listening to me right now, or Russian. Sorry, Russian. I'm sorry. But Ladou was later murdered after being loaned this necklace by her lover. Sultan Hamid gave it to Abdul Sabir to polish, and Sabir was later imprisoned and tortured. One of the stone's guardians, Kalab Bey, was hung by a mob in Turkey. Tavernier, who brought the stone from India to Paris, was torn to pieces by wild dogs in Constantinople.
And there are people that really want to fucking wear this shit. Like,
yeah.
Are you just curious
like, I love it.
Are you just curious on what your role's gonna be? Or like, here's a D20, let's see what I'm gonna get. It's wow.
It's just a coincidence.
You know,
It'll never happen to me.
Torn to pieces by dogs, actually.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, and then King Louis XIV, who we discussed briefly, gifted it to Madame de Montespan, whom he later abandoned. So he had been seeing this woman, briefly gifted it to her, took it back, and abandoned her, just left her, like destitute. And then temporary wearer Princess de Lamballe was torn apart by an angry mob in France. So
princess.
These are just yeah, she was torn apart by an angry mob in France.
Yikes.
So, you know, it has quite the laundry list of people who coincidentally, maybe not coincidentally, there's a train. Of course, there's a train. We're doing a podcast. It wouldn't be one without a train, right? That's my curse. It's a fucking trains. And that's just being living next to a goddamn train.
The train is the co-host for the show, okay?
We've talked about this. Why does it blow 6 times? Why did it blow 6? It never honks this much unless I'm doing a podcast or streaming. I swear to God.
Okay, so one of the things that I am curious about is like, what if part of the curse is if there's people that survive touching it? What if, like, if you're a bad person, is when the curse strikes? if there are people that
I
are
mean-
documented as touching it and then surviving, I'm just curious on if the curse is based on if a person has good intentions or bad intentions, kind of thing.
Well, I
maybe.
think that's definitely, like, again, like I said, a lot of the people that owned it or borrowed it, or, you know, jewelers that had it, a lot of jewelers aren't necessarily ethical, you know what I mean, where they get their stuff from. Like, if this was stolen from India and not bought like they said it was, you know, it's not very ethical, right? So, yeah.
I'm just
And
curious.
then, like you said, a lot of the people that owned it, I would say, probably weren't the best people. They let their people starve. They kind of hoarded their wealth. You know,
Except for that poor
against
mailman. That poor mailman.
the poor mailman. He just kind of got
We
fucked
don't know
over.
that. We don't know that mailman's intentions.
But we don't know. We don't know if he was a good person or not.
Yeah,
That's, you
that's
know,
fair.
we don't know. He could have been an asshole.
We'll just say
maybe
it's a curse
he was a
object that
giant
kills
dick.
everyone to equalize it and not make anyone feel called out.
But I say, because not, like you said, not everybody that touched it. There was quite a few people that interacted with it, held onto it for a while. People in the Smithsonian don't seem to have an issue with it. It's just on display there. Nobody wears it. People don't put it on their fucking dogs or hide it in the bushes to play rich people hide and seek. You know, they're not doing weird shit with it. They're just displaying it for historical context. It's still there today, and it draws millions of visitors. And those people don't die, but they're not touching it. They're not wearing it. They don't, like you said, they don't necessarily have ill intent when wearing it. They're not doing war crimes when wearing it or starting actual literal wars. Or, again, a lot of these people were kings and queens or very, very wealthy people who weren't the best human beings, you know, ever. I can't say that for everybody. I didn't, you know, research every single person on this list to see what they did, but some of them were.
Someone
Oh,
booped. Someone booped.
boopity boop.
I had to do
Little
the
boopity
boop.
boop. Little beep beep boop.
Continue.
But
Sorry.
yeah, it definitely could be said that a lot of these people weren't very good people necessarily, or, you know, definitely had. Yeah, they're
I mean-
rich. They're super fucking rich people. They had a $350 million necklace that they
That's
just
really
kind
all you
of.
need to say. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, think about the rich people we know today. Do you think they're usually good people?
I'm not pointing any fingers, but yes.
They're, you know,
I
yeah,
guess, 'cause
maybe
I'm
it was just
curious
kind of
on
bringing
how-
balance.
Yeah, I'm just curious on how curses work, because I feel like curses have specific things that trigger
Well,
it and
especially,
specific things that don't trigger it.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I can
it
definitely
could literally just
see
be
that,
touching it.
because if, well, like I lean more towards you, like how you are maybe as a human being, if it is a curse, because again, if it actually was stolen from India, and like rich people love doing, you know, stealing shit, especially back in the 17th century, was not uncommon, especially jewels, artifacts, you fucking name it,
Mummies.
stolen to Europeans.
Mummies.
You know, it's
Mummies.
pretty fucking common thing. So
Yeah.
I could see where that would weigh heavier on people who have ill intent. It's kind of bringing balance to the force, if you will. Like,
Yeah. As
it's
Baguette
kind of
said.
knocking out.
As
Yeah,
Baguette said,
exactly.
it's a balance bringer. Like the Avatar.
where does it happen to be right now? I'm just
It's
curious.
in the Smithsonian. It's still in the Smithsonian today. It literally draws
It better
millions of
not
people a year.
leave.
You can
It
go
better
look at
not
it.
leave the Smithsonian, and it better not
They
go
actually-
on tour.
They did. They used to tour it quite a bit, actually, and there wasn't. I couldn't
Oh,
find
no.
anything saying that anyone got hurt during this at all. They would put it on display in different museums around the world. Nothing. I couldn't. I didn't see anything about any ill fates during that. But these, again, it wasn't people wearing them. It was just on display, right? It wasn't anything necessarily negative, though. The Smithsonian, I feel like, does have its own kind of mucky history with the artifacts it gets as well. Sometimes, if I remember correctly, it has been known to have stolen and or kind of muddy watered artifacts and things of that nature. But again, Right now, you could literally go look at it if you wanted to. If you went to the Smithsonian, you could literally look at the Hope Diamond.
I
It's
do
sitting
want
there,
to
just
see it,
chilling.
but I don't want to touch it. I would be kind of scared to see it.
Well,
Basically.
they would taser the shit out of you if you tried, so no worries there.
Oh, that's my taser. The curse continues.
Dead.
But they'd be like, no touchy. They'd be like, so how much money do you have? I don't think you're rich enough to touch that.
True.
Which is crazy because when you think about it, this bitch used to hide. I cannot get over the fact that this lady used to put it on a dog and then put it in bushes and be like, oh,
And
go
dogs
find
are
us, my
pure.
rich little friend.
Dogs are
Piggy's out.
pure goodness. Okay, dogs are pure goodness.
That's why the dog didn't get cursed.
Yeah,
the dog was
dogs
just
are
big
pure
chillin'.
goodness.
But can you imagine? I couldn't imagine putting a few $100 item on my dog, let alone like a $350 million fucking diamond. And then being like, okay, Pinky's out, everybody. Go find the diamond in the bushes. Come on. Let's go. Pinky's out. Find it like a little Easter egg. Like, that's fucking crazy. And then she got so broke that she had to hide it in her panties and on a train. So, here we are.
Yep, it's
Crazy.
now it's in the Smithsonian. So hopefully it
Now
never
it's in the
leaves.
Smithsonian.
Hopefully it never leaves the Smithsonian and doesn't switch owners because a death will shortly
I could think of someone that I'd really love for them to buy it.
No,
Yeah.
I
he's
think-
not allowed. He is not allowed.
I
He
think
is
they
banned.
should.
No, they would no.
Well,
Yeah.
it might take care of some business,
We'll
Yeah,
start a
they would
GoFundMe.
want that. That'd be terrible if he bought that. Oh no.
He wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let that go. It would stay with him forever.
That Super Panties Coochie Curse. It was a Super Panty Coochie Curse because the Super
No, that's a
Coochie
great
Curse
band
was
name.
Diamond. That would be a good band name.
We had a lot of really good land names.
Moist Labia.
Perfect timing.
First time
in chat.
chatter. I
Welcome
love your
in.
name. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you love the show because I love your name. Moist
name.
Labia. We have a lot of good band names here tonight.
It's a very fancy last name. It sounds very fancy. It sounds very fancy if you say it out loud. Just like labia. Yeah, it sounds very
Not everybody
fancy.
knows, labias, clitoris. They don't know where those things are, but
I'm surprised that Twitch allowed
know
it,
the
to be
name.
honest. I'm surprised that Twitch allowed it. We'll see. All right.
beautiful.
Carry
Good for
on.
you.
Carry on, my
So,
lovely.
Really, that is the Curse of the Hope Diamonds.
Oh,
My
wow.
ghouls.
My ghouls. Okay, so I wanted to show you this, so hold on. Let me get it added real quickly.
Oh yes, the picture. Yes.
I'll show you. It's pretty cool. I thought I had to
many
be like
phases.
All right. Where is it? Is it this one?
Baguette, your name is also beautiful. I've told you I've loved your name since the beginning of meeting you and your Baguette and
Here you go,
dicks.
baby. Take a look at that.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ, that thing was huge.
So in 1668, when it was known as the Blue, it was very large, and then it got cut down in 1678.
That's a French blue.
And that's when it became French Blue, and then it got cut down even more in 1839.
How did I miss this picture?
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
mad at myself because I'm like, I literally looked up pictures of this sumbitch. I did not see this, but this is amazing. I'm really glad you found this.
Oh yeah, I was so
quite
curious
the difference.
because
They just shaved money off.
I'm just so curious about the sizing of the diamonds. All right, so yeah, we're happy to have you. All right, so yeah, it did allow Baguette's name, so that makes sense. But thank you, we're happy to have you. Thank you for coming in as a first-time chatter. We hope you enjoy it. We covered the Doomfish first, and then we went and covered Papa Kortrah's topic, which was 3 topics. We got a bonus. We got bonuses in that one, and it was the swamp monster,
the Honey Island,
Island swamp monster. Got it. The Casquette Girls and Rougraou.
Rougraou.
And then Meso just covered a cursed item, a very famous cursed item, the Hope Diamond, and she found out that the Heart of the Ocean, was it Heart of the Ocean? In Titanic was
is based off of that, which makes sense, and I don't know why I didn't even think about that. It's been a long time since I've seen Titanic.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be right back for our Ghoulish Bites, which is our closing segment. We'll talk about a few topics here, and then we'll close it out afterwards. So we'll be right back, you guys. Here's our last break for the night. All right, we're back. Thank you for hanging out with us for that. We're moving on to the last part of the podcast, which is the Ghoulish Bite. So I'm very excited for it. Let's go ahead and get back into the Discord VC right now and say hi to the lovely Meso Thorny and the amazing Papa Kortrah again.
To be fair.
Hello, my dears.
Hello.
Hello. Let's go ahead and get into this layout. There we go. Hi. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed the topics today. I had quite a grand time. It was also nice.
Oh, it was so much fun.
It was nice to get reconnected with Meso, and it's always a good time with Papa Kortrah. So I kind of spoiled myself with this lineup because I got two of my favorite people here. So, it's crazy. But
You're gonna make me blush.
Papa Kortrah, as you know, the Ghoulish Bites is just the segment after the podcast where we talk about the topics that we covered and also our current favorite snack. And I think Meso should tell us what her favorite current snack is.
I actually have two right now that I'm obsessed with. No, sorry. My fast is obsessed with three right now, okay?
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
Sweet Hawaiian roll pretzel bites.
You found them again?
Good.
They're back in the stores for me too.
But I say sometimes. Sometimes they're not there. Sometimes they're there. I grab them every time I see them with some white queso, spicy queso.
Oh, that sounds really good, actually. Oh man.
Oh my God, what are they called? Oh, they're Sweet Tarts Chewy Minis, the little balls, the candy, the Sweet Tart Chewies. Oh, so good.
Okay.
They're delicious. They're not like the big ones. They're tiny little balls in your mouth, little tiny balls that you
so they're kind of like
sprees.
They're kind of like sprees but smaller, like the chewy sprees but smaller.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I love sprees, so that makes sense. I love.
And they're soft, like you can chew them up after you know.
Yeah, that's sprees
suck them a little bit.
Sprees chewables. Those are. Oh man, I haven't seen those in a store in a long time.
And then I found. I'm sure you guys know what Dippin' Dots are.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So they're kind of like Dippin' Dots. They're called mini melts, and they're at Speedway, which if you don't know what Speedway is, it's a gas station. I don't know if it's in the entirety of the country or just in like the Midwest area, but it tastes just like Dippin' Dots. They're little balls. They're delicious. They melt very fast. You have to eat them very quickly, but they're very good.
Yes, my favorite.
I've been eating the shit out of all three of those.
Yeah, my favorite flavors for that is the cotton candy, of course, and then the other one is the chocolate banana. Chocolate banana. The banana sundae.
Oh, never had the chocolate banana.
Ooh, yeah, I love the chocolate banana. It's the one that has like brown and yellow little balls on it, and it's delicious. And then the cotton candy is the pink and blue one. Oh, those are
I love the cotton candy and the cookies and cream. Anything cookies and cream, I will fuck
their cookies and cream one is also so good.
Yeah, they do have that.
Man, those are good choices. What about you, Papa? What are your favorite snacks?
The newest thing is Doritos Dynamita, I think. Chili limon. It's basically a chili lime flavored taquito knockoff, but Doritos does it. And it's like not crazy hot, so it doesn't burn your tongue.
Right. You're not suffering.
But it's still got some heat to it. That's good.
That sounds really yummy. I haven't seen those in the store actually. I've seen the Dynamites, which are the spicy honey mustard ones, and instead of chips they look like fries. They're cut like in the fries shape, but that's the only thing I've seen really. And then what else, Papa? Is that your current favorite snack?
Yep, that's the current one.
Man, for me, I've actually me and Meso had a long discussion about this, but it's been really hard for me to actually find things that I really want to eat right now. Like I haven't had much of an appetite for the past few weeks, and nothing really unless I'm hungry, and that's when I'll eat. Nothing sounds good to me except for sushi and steak, and those aren't things that we can afford all the time. But everything else, I've just been really I've been off. We talked about this during the spooky summer party with the Schumann resonance, and oh yeah, Toasty's been eating the teriyaki seaweed chips. I actually love seaweed chips, or
I do too.
the seaweed chips, but I only like
Mm.
the salt one, the light salt one. And then if I ever find the wasabi ones, oh, I can destroy a pack while sitting outside in the fire within like 30 minutes. I love eating seaweed things. And it's actually, I've kind of slowly started to replace some of my chips that I intake. Sometimes I'm like, I really want chips right now. And I'm like, yeah, let's just go for some seaweed. So I've been trying to replace my snacking of chips because I'm obsessed with like hot Cheetos, which is terrible for my heartburn, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But I love hot Cheetos and I love spicy chips, but I can't really eat them. And if not that, then I really, really like the barbecue Lays is one of my weaknesses, and the
Mm.
sour cream and cheddar ruffles, another weakness of mine. So I have been trying to control my intake of that one, and seaweed definitely helped me has definitely helped me with the craving of chips. I've also
Well,
found
because
myself,
and seaweed is pretty good macros.
oh my gosh, I just love seaweed. Like I love seaweed. I eat sushi, so I, you know what
Delicious.
I mean. So I just love seaweed, especially like if you find the ones that are in a green bag and they're like little tiny, like leaves, and it's the wasabi flavored one. Oh my god, I love them so much. They're literally my favorite. But I also like the I like wasabi flavored things apparently because I don't know if you guys have seen the almonds. I think they're called Blue Diamond almonds,
Yes, I see
and
those.
they have the
Oh
wasabi soy
yeah.
sauce flavor. Oh, I can kill a bag really fast of almonds with that. So wasabi be tricky.
Man, I forgot that existed, but now I really want it.
Right?
Honestly,
Okay.
teriyaki seaweed chips sound delightful. I would
That sounds really
tear them
good.
bitches up.
Oh yeah, that sounds actually really yummy. So let me pull up my notes. Where's my notes? Seriously, where are you? Who are you even? All right. So earlier Papa Kortrah mentioned that you almost encountered the cryptid when you were looking for fireflies, right? Or you were around the area that the cryptid is, the swamp
Yeah.
creature. And so one thing that popped up in my mind about that kind of made me sad because I personally don't recall if I've ever seen fireflies. And there was something that came up, and I've been reading articles on it. And apparently, we're possibly the last generation of people that will see fireflies because we've destroyed their habitat so much because of the pollution and the constant use of like unsafe pesticides and the climate change. They're actually like going extinct for bugs. Does that work for bugs? And
Yes.
it made me sad because I don't recall ever seeing fireflies, and I wish that I could see one. And I'm sad that
I
the
didn't
next
know you guys
generation
didn't
won't.
get fireflies out by you.
I
I had no idea. It
Well,
might like
I live in the
they
city.
are.
I live in the city,
That's
so
fair.
we don't
That's
have
fair.
very much places for fireflies to hang out. We get a lot of moths that love light.
But I say I wish so even though there is like compared to when I was a kid, I used to go outside and our whole yard would just be covered in fireflies. So there's definitely less, and like just scientifically speaking, like population wise, they're definitely decreasing. But where I live is like a huge wood line and then like a huge yard. So you go outside at night, especially like right now, if I would go outside, it's just fireflies everywhere. It's
Oh,
gorgeous. I wish I could show you. Because it's just so there's so many and they'll like fly and hit you in the face because
what's
they're
the
kind of silly.
season for them usually? Is there a specific
Spring and
season?
summer.
Spring and summer.
Spring
Okay.
and summer, especially like around right now when it's real warm and like where I'm at, it's real muggy and like quit. So they just be spawning like crazy and they're hatching and just all over the place.
One thing I also want to, I know that everybody's going to hate me for saying this, but one thing I do want to experience is to actually hear, like going to a place that has cicadas during, like during their
I
mating
love
season.
cicadas. I love
I
cicadas so
really want
much.
to go to a place, at least for like the day, just so I can like experience it. I know a lot of people are like, it's terrible, it's loud, it's noisy, it's stupid, and I hate it.
I
But
love
like,
them.
I've never heard it and I want to hear it. Like, I actually
So
want to experience it, but I heard it's really
when
bad.
Baguette and
So,
Trey, when Baguette and Trey were here, they were here when the brood when they went to Kings Island, the brood up there by Kings Island was spawning. Like things like every 7 years or something like that, where like certain areas have broods that just spawn like freaking crazy. And there was a joke going around with Kings Island in general where people were getting hit in the face on the rides by so many cicada, like they're in your mouth, they're everywhere. And they said when they were at Kings Island, kids were like shaking trees and like cicadas were just falling out, but they were getting drove crazy by
I
the
really
cicadas.
okay. So I have to go to your area to see fireflies and hear cicadas.
And
Apparently,
cicadas,
I
yes.
damn
That
it.
you go outside right now and hear some cicadas out there. They're in the trees just shaking their asses like crazy right now.
I know we were planning
But
something for 2026 and 2027, but maybe I can plan something sooner if I go there and see some fireflies and
cicadas,
cicadas.
dude. And like I went up to a restaurant by Kings Island where the cicadas were, and I just like I love picking up cicadas. I love like because they're kind of dumb, and they'll like fly into the cars and like land on their backs and be like ah. So I pick them up and put them on a tree, and they scream as you pick them up, and you're like, "Calm down, bud." And people stare at me as I run around like a
Well,
toddler, picking up
it's
like
kind of
5 cicadas.
like that's. It seems like you're excited about them, like I'm excited about beetles. Like I love
I love
beetles. I
that.
don't know what it is,
I love
but I just
them
love
too.
beetles. And as a kid, we were Ozzy.
Oh, naughty kitty.
Well, he's gotten really bad. He's gotten really bold and really confident and has explored the house rather
He's
well.
comfortable now.
And he's gotten comfortable in the house. And now he is getting comfortable with the doggy door. And he's already come out of the doggy door 3 or 4 times. And last night I couldn't find any of the cats except for Poppy, who is our blind orange cat. But she's been hanging out a lot downstairs. So I'm worried that they're going to lead her outside. And that's one thing I don't want her to ever do is go outside.
Right.
Like with
You have to put
her,
air tags on all of them.
well, they all have air tags, and that's why last night when I
Oh,
couldn't
nice.
find the other two, I looked at my app to look up their air tags, and both motherfuckers were in the backyard. So I'd go outside, they're around the corner over there, and I'm all like, "What are you doing? Get inside! You're indoor cats."
Get your asses in here.
And so when I came in, they were all downstairs, and all of them were looking at me. Poppy is blind, but her head was directed at me like she's looking at me. And I'm like, all of you guys
Nothing's
are
happening.
indoor cats only.
That's right.
Indoor cats
You
only.
did.
And so yeah, he's been really comfortable with the doggy door and has been really, and I'm like I said, my biggest fear is like we need to figure it out soon because I would be devastated if anything happened to Poppy. Like she is the smallest cat
Right.
we've ever known. She's very petite. All my cats that I've ever owned have always been ginormous cats. I have big cats. It's just what I get is big cats. That's what the cat distribution system gives me is big cats. And Poppy is the smallest cat that we've ever owned, and her being so small and blind, I get so much anxiety with her going
Oh,
outside
that's
because
understandable.
like I don't want her to get picked on by a hawk. I don't want her to manage to end up outside cuz I wouldn't, I would not know how to even start looking for her. My heart would die. So like, oh, we need to figure it out. So we're trying to figure out if the cat collar situation is a thing or if we have to do the doggy door and the doggy collar as a thing so that we can kind of
Right, so only the dogs can get out.
yeah, it's been anxiety inducing for sure. It's been anxiety inducing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So we got into the rant of beetles, cicadas, and fireflies and how we're the last generation. Um I was actually really curious on the skunk ape. Like I think we should probably like maybe if it's a big enough topic, I might try and cover it as like a topic because it sounded interesting to me when you guys mentioned it.
Yeah.
And then the name of the Countess of Blood before what's her name? Maria no not Maria Laveau. What was her name? Whatever the chick. The chick from
Madame
The New
LaLaurie.
Orleans one.
LaLaurie, yeah. Madame LaLaurie. The name of the person that originally bathed in her handmaiden's blood, or like her little, female servants that would help her around the castle is her name was Countess Elizabeth Bathory. And
Yeah.
yeah, and she's the one that was like the iconic sit in the tub and get the youth of these
Yeah.
young women with their blood. So I was just curious.
Really big
on that
serial
one.
killer.
And then you told me to remind you about Captains,
yes, the Titanic.
Titanic and mummies.
So
Yeah.
there's a theory. I have to look more into it because obviously I didn't do research on this, but I remember hearing, I want to say it was like on the History Channel or something of this nature. On the Titanic, the captain of the Titanic was transporting a mummy in his private quarters, and they actually believe, because according to a lot of witnesses that ones that survived the Titanic, crew members said that the captain was acting very like erratic and weird and was not making logical decisions. And some people say it's because he's drunk, but other people think it's because the spores, the mold spores or whatever spores were coming out of this mummy that they were transporting, were making him ill and like fucking up his cognitive abilities to drive the Titanic.
Oh
So there's a theory that part of the Titanic was caused by him being exposed to mummy spores. And I thought that was very interesting.
Maybe it's doing
'Cause,
what the Hope Diamond possibly is doing, and
there's a lot of lore about mummy curses, but I have now the spores make sense because I mean something that old and sealed in a coffin, it could grow all kinds of crazy shit. You'd have no idea what the hell it could have on it. But there's also people back in, I want to say it was like, well, the 20, there was a time in history where rich people snorted, ate, and did all kinds of weird shit with mummies. Mummies are actually were not rare. If you look into it, mummies were not rare back in the day. They found so many mummies that they would sell them to rich people, like little shows. They would
as like
snort them,
or
eat them. Yeah, they would do all kinds of weird shit with mummies. They made little decorations out of them, and that's why they became rare, is because they kind of like harvested them to depletion.
Yikes.
And I thought that was fucking crazy. Again, rich people be fucking crazy. What are they doing? What are you doing? That's a human corpse.
So you're saying that the mummy, like that the Titanic, failed because of a possible mummy curse?
Yeah.
That is interesting and kind of cool, but also very dark and morbid, and I should not be happy about that, right? But it's funny.
It's very interesting.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's not funny. It's interesting. That's the correct word. Is interesting, not funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was something sketchier, like the captain was was controlled by the mummy and wasn't allowed to sink. Which there's actually, it's interesting that you mentioned spores because, hold on, there was a person that talked about Ozzy. I'll be right back.
Oh, naughty kitty. We have a naughty kitty in the house. Naughty boy. Uh-oh. Shit. Oh, he better run. He better fucking run, bro.
In the VOD, Daku is currently up chasing a cat in her house. Please hold.
Dude. Oh. Must have been him. He done got
I don't know if you saw him zoom past the floor right there.
I did. He done got mama.
But he went outside, so I had to go outside and snatch him, and he came running and shot right through the fucking floor. I'm like, oh, well, there goes Ozzy. Oh, man. Okay, sorry. There was a theory. I'm trying to figure out who said it. That if the world gets hot enough, that like mushrooms and fungus could take over and pretty much make us all zombies and take over our bodies and move us around if it got hot enough.
I see him trifling back. Oh, no, he's just, he's so cute. Look at that little void beam.
Look at his gloriousness. He is so beautiful.
He's so cute.
So is this like real world theory behind Last of Us?
I chased him back. But yeah, so there was this one person that mentioned that if the earth got hot enough, that the fungus might be able to take over and take over humans and basically use us as machines that they can drive. And I thought that was a crazy theory. So spores
in the game.
What's happening?
If I say in the game slash show.
Am I muted or are you muted?
Can you hear me, Kortrah?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you, yes.
It's me, isn't it? 1 second.
Oh no, Daku.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
hear
You just couldn't hear us.
Yeah, sorry. I
There we
took
go.
off my headphones and you probably, it probably
okay.
disconnected. What did you guys heard everything I said, right?
Yes,
Okay,
the spores. So
Mhm.
there's something in the show and the game called The Last of Us called cordyceps. Cordyceps are real. They take over mostly like ants, and what they do is they invade the ant's body. They make the ant go up to the top of like a leaf or their ant hills, and then they stop there. They start molding, sprouting, and they poof into spores, and those spores fall into the colony and infect the whole colony.
Why have I think that I've seen a cartoon or a movie that does this exactly?
It's very likely.
I think that there
It's very likely.
a movie that this happens. It was okay. So there's this thing on Netflix where they made these short films based off of video games, and that could be where that's from. I can't remember what
I can believe it.
But yeah, there's a thing where they made different short stories and like a whole short movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what the Last of Us is based off of. Is the cordyceps fungal infection.
Okay.
That's real. It's a very real thing, but in real life, if it didn't affect humans, they'd probably die and mold in their beds, or maybe possibly walk somewhere to infect a populace. They wouldn't probably be violent, but they could, in theory, like the ants, walk to a populated area and explode spores, and recently, I'm a nerd, and this should interest me, they are adapting to climate change. The reason why we don't get infected with fungus or mold like that is because our body is too hot and they cannot live in our hot bodies. But since they are adapting to climate change, they're getting able to live in hotter, wetter climates.
Yeah. So
giggity, giggity, giggity.
That's
but they actually
secret
found
level. That's
for
correct.
Oh,
Yes.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so I think that's I think that's what that episode was based off of.
Yeah.
Now that you're explaining it to me,
I can believe that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know what it's based off of now because I'm like, I know that this is related to video game, but I don't know what this video game is, and now you just connected them for me. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
They found I believe it was a woman she was a very old woman and she already had like some medical issues, right? But they found I think it was fungus or mold, I can't remember which one, growing in her lungs for the first time ever in humans recently. So that's terrifying. Spoiler alert, climate change is real and terrifying.
It is.
That's my rant.
It's very scary. And then I was
Mold.
just laughing because people are like, wow, this is one deadly diamond, and people that are obsessed with it, like, there's a whole spiritual thing where crystals are related to like a sentient being that we cannot see in this plane, aka we talk about that in the mountains, the mountains episode where we talked about the sacred mountains episode, and I covered it in Mount Shasta, and one of the things is the Lumerians.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they actually communicate through crystals is one of the theories. So I thought it was curious that someone made a joke about the Hope Diamond being a cursed object because it belonged to to something like a spiritual entity, or a whole generation that we can't see of aliens maybe. So I thought that was interesting. And then you were talking about the different sizes, and I looked up the original size of the carrots. And thanks to Papa Kortrah during his stream, they were saying Harurura over and over again, and I had no idea what this was, right? I had no idea what Harurura was. And so I was talking about it to Raven in the Discord, and then they started showing me this game called Musume or something like that, and it's a game where you have horse girls that you train and bring up their stats so that they can race.
Stop.
Yes.
I've seen that.
I've been playing a lot of it, and
I didn't know what that was.
The special currency that you can use to unlock more characters or more cards is shaped like a diamond, but the currency is called carrots, and it's spelled like carrots.
That's funny. Stop. That's funny as fuck.
So I just
That
thought,
wild.
So this whole game, the currency in this game is shaped like a diamond, and they're called carrots. And it's sad that my brain drifted into it. I've been playing a lot of Uma Musume, so that would be why every time you mention carrot, my brain's all like, carrots? Ay, ay, ay. You okay, baby?
Yeah, sorry, something popped up on my phone. I was trying
No
to read
problem.
it. It's real tiny.
All right, so yeah, that the show that had okay, so we're not sponsored, but we're not sponsored. We'd like to be, but we're not. But yeah, Papa Kortrah did say the name of the show. I think it's on Netflix, right? It's called Secret Level,
Yeah.
and there's like several episodes, and each episode is an episode like an episode that they made up of the rules of specific games and specific worlds. So like this happened in this game, or yeah, so they have a bunch of games that they have in their roster, and there's a story for each of them. And the reason now I know what that is because Secret Level, I watched all of it and I couldn't figure out until you mentioned what they did in The Last of Us, and it made so much more sense. So Secret Level, if you guys wanted something to watch that's not well, some of it's animated and some of it looks really real, but it's not.
Yeah. And a
I
lot
think
of
all
it's like
animation.
abstract.
It's crazy. It's fun though. But
I
I
have
don't
not
think
seen it. I've seen of it, but I have not seen the show itself. But it looked like something I would probably enjoy.
Oh yeah. And then yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed our topics. Do you guys have any questions, or do
I
you
had
have
so
anything
much
you want to
fun.
bring up, Papa Kortrah? Any questions about anything, or anything that you would like to bring up in the podcast right now? Any topics you're thinking? Any thoughts?
I had fun. Thanks for the invite.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you for
So
being here. I loved having you. I had
yeah.
such a good time. What a great return.
Yes, you got I am so happy to
I
have you
needed
back.
this.
You came back to streaming just yesterday after taking some time away, and you did the charity event yesterday, and then it's nice to have you back here. I like last time we did the spooky slumber party recording. It was really hard to let her go,
Right.
but I had things to do. It was just really hard to let her go because I've missed her so much. So
It was still really nice to see you. Yeah, I must say. I needed this.
too. And then we've got Papa Kortrah, who's just like the warmest blanket.
Amazing.
Warmest blanket. I love you, Papa Kortrah. And I missed our daily streams, but we still make of it on the Fridays nowadays. But yeah, we used to stream on Tuesdays together, but our schedules are no longer working.
Adulting's a bitch, my dude.
Yeah. Growing
It
up,
really is.
adulting sucks, you guys.
Yeah.
I wish I
Thanks.
were so rich I could put an expensive diamond around the neck of a dog.
Hide it in the bushes.
So couple things. The Ghoulish Bites is going to be released on the 2nd of August, and then after that is going to be the special Spooky Slumber Party, and that's going to be on August 9th, I believe, is when we're going to release it. And that is actually talking about the shooting residence, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that episode. That won't be on Twitch, that will only be on Spotify or YouTube. Twitch has limited, like, our space for storing or for saving videos and VODs here. And so it's going to get to the point that the first few episodes of the podcast will start disappearing from Twitch and will only be available on YouTube and Spotify because Twitch is just changing their I had to get rid of a bunch of old VODs.
I had to get rid of so much.
Yeah. And some of those VODs was Papa Kortrah's insane trying to propose to me on Stardew Valley, and it was
I think.
I was just really good at spoiling all the plans. All of the plans I was good at spoiling. So we really enjoyed you, Papa Kortrah, and I hope you had a good time, and thank you for educating us on 3 new topics, and I'm really excited about them. And I hope you enjoyed the topics, and I'm looking forward to more fun times with YouTube because, like I said, in the Twitch world, you guys are like just my favorites. It's amazing, and I love you guys so much.
I love you.
Before we leave for the podcast, we need to do our little outro, and then we need to find someone to raid to. So, do I do the outro first, and then after that we'll chit chat while we try and find a target? Let's do that. All right, Papa Kortrah, here we actually close the show with all of us saying our goodbyes. So what happens is I say the first part, and then our guest says, and then Meso closes it up. So I'm gonna say the first part, and then you go, and then Meso will go after you. And so, all right, yeah, we'll take it to Mojo, no problem. I think she has two double. She's got a double underscore on her name. If you just want to copy and paste it for me, I can easily.
Yes,
copy
I
and
will
paste it.
definitely.
There we go. All right, so are you guys ready for the outro?
Yes.
All right, are you guys ready? All right. We'll stay thick.
And
You stay spooky.
Hey.